What is going on, everybody? It is good to be back. It is Monday night, almost Tuesday. Sorry for the late start. Sorry, I need to turn down my phone volume. I need to make sure my volume's working good. Um, Monday night, a little late. Sorry about that. Was a little busy today, but we are here, and it feels like it's been so long, but it's only been like what 4 or 5 days. So if you're watching live right now, can't tell if we have anyone in here yet, but if you're watching live, thank you very much for watching. And also, if you are watching after it's already been posted, it means a lot to me. If you feel like it, make sure to hit that like button. And please do, if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. So it feels good to be back, though. We'll see if we get anyone in here. But while we wait for some people to join up here on the live, we'll go through and I'll run through kind of what we're going to talk about today. So we'll start by looking at some of the topics I have for us today. And if you are in here on the live, make sure to throw some in that chat, say what up, let me know how your 4th of July was. So we'll start with our first topic that we'll be talking about today. Excuse me. And we have the Detroit Pistons Summer League roster. Definitely a big one I want to kind of hit on today because I'm excited to kind of talk about that. There's a lot of fun stuff that's going on in the Summer League, and I want to get into that conversation. And then we'll also go through little Kevin Durant trade rumors. I want to hear what you guys think about that, obviously. So we'll talk about that. And then we also have DeMar DeRozan news. Sounds like he was officially waived today by the Sacramento Kings. And then we also have Andre Drummond news signing with the Knicks. We'll talk about that. A player I really wanted on the Pistons. And then we also do have Abuka Okori. We're talking about him and the other rookie, Onyenso. And Jalen Duren, we'll talk a little bit about him. There really has not been much news coming out of that whole situation. And then we'll go through, talk about the Detroit Pistons lineup and roster as a whole. We'll go through and we'll do some season predictions maybe. And then we'll just also talk about some of the trade rumors still, like PJ Washington, Trey Murphy. We'll talk about Anthony Simons, a guy who was rumored, or not rumored, but a lot of Pistons fans said that they would have loved to have seen. And then Roy Hachimura also signed, I think it was the Clippers. We'll talk about that. And then also we'll talk a little bit about the new Pistons edition. I know we talked about him in the last stream, but we'll talk a little bit more about John Collins as well. So, but yeah, if you guys are in here, man, what is going on? Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. Let me know which of those topics or whatever you guys want to talk about, and we'll get into it. But until I see anyone in that chat, we'll go ahead and we'll start with probably talking about this Summer League. We'll talk about Summer League roster first, probably. Why not? But yeah, thank you guys for joining. Like I said, throw something down in that chat, and we'll get right into it. So, looking at the Detroit Pistons Summer League roster, we have a pretty decent lineup here. Obviously, very excited for the two rookies. You have Abuka Okori and Ugana Onyenso, who are going to be probably the two most watched players for the Detroit Pistons. So a couple other recognizable names in there, like Chaz Lanier, another guy I'm kind of excited to see because obviously he is one of the he was the rookie from last year that we drafted. We didn't really get to see him too much this year. He was in the G League a lot, so but we'll see. And okay, we're good. And then outside of that, Drake Allen, I recognize the name. I just can't really put a finger on how I recognize it. Dawson Garcia, I remember him at Minnesota. Obviously, Roddy Gale. I think that's one that a lot of people are excited for. Jaden Henley from Grand Canyon. I am familiar with him a little bit. Isaac Jones, I remember him from, I think, the last year's G League team. And then the rest of the names I really don't recognize. I think I recognize Bryce Williams. He was a solid player at Nebraska. So, but yeah, go down, throw someone down that chat. What player are you guys most excited to see? Obviously, I mean, for me, it's gonna be Abuka Okori. I really hope that he dominates and really shows everyone that he is going to be an elite scorer for the Pistons this year. So, let me know who you guys are most excited for, and let me know what else you guys want to talk about, man. Throw someone down that chat. Say what up. What kind of news are y'all wanting to hear? I'm gonna get into that Kevin Durant trade rumors here in a moment. But yeah, what player are you guys most excited for in the summer league? We got first game coming up on Thursday. It sounds like Thursday night. So I'll probably tune into that, and yeah, I'm excited to see who can perform. Obviously, I think we're all excited to see the two rookies. I think Roddy Gale will be an interesting one because he was solid at Michigan this year. Dawson Garcia is, I think, a name to watch. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. We got 13 people in here. What's going on, everyone? Glad to be back. If you're returning, by the way, appreciate it so much. If this is your first time, welcome in. We'll go ahead. We'll get into that Kevin Durant trade rumor talk. So, over the last couple of days, I have seen a lot of conspiracy of Kevin Durant coming to the Detroit Pistons, and obviously that would have to be via trade. But so I want to know, for anyone in here, what would be your thoughts on the Detroit Pistons trading for Kevin Durant? Too expensive, too old, or would you, or maybe just not like a really good locker room guy, or would you guys be interested in getting an elite scorer, great shooter, and a 7-footer who isn't a really great defender but can play defense? Let me know what you guys think about this, because I mean, personally, for me, I would love to see it, but also in the same sense, like looking at it right now, I don't know if that's the move we should make. I would rather go get Trey Murphy, Tyler Hero, or whatever. So, but yeah, if you guys are in here, make sure to throw it down in that chat. What's your guys' opinions on this? Would you want to see Kevin Durant in Detroit? And if so, what would you guys want to package up? Marcus Newsom, good to see you again, man. He said Corey's ball handling, his shooting off the dribble really was top 3 in the draft. Absolutely. And then Corey was an outstanding pick. I'm starting to like that pick more and more. I think I have him in here somewhere. Where is he? I really was at first disappointed in this pick because there's a lot of players in this draft who I think we could have really gone after. But I definitely agree, Marcus. I think looking at it in hindsight, I see what the vision is. This dude is an outstanding defender, scorer at all 3 levels. He can finish at the rim extremely well. And not only that, but he is a pretty good shooter. I think he could get a little better 3-point shot. But the dude averaged 23 points per game, so you really can't hate on that, right? But yeah, absolutely, Marcus. I definitely agree with that. I think a Corey's going to be hopefully have a higher impact than what most people think he'll have. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, outside of that, we'll go back to the Kevin Durant trade. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Kevin Durant trade as well. Let's see what else we have in here. We also have the DeMar DeRozan news, who was obviously, I mean, look, I'm not gonna say that the Pistons are gonna target him or whatever, but would you guys want to see DeMar DeRozan in Detroit? I'm kind of skeptical on it. Every team he goes on, he tends to, not really improve, I guess. Like I guess he's been in a lot of mid teams, like not the Clippers, but the Kings, and like the Bulls. But like I don't know, I don't know if I'd love it, but he is a really good scorer, and honestly could help out this team. And if you get him on a decent deal, why not, right? Ibrahim, what's good, man? Good to see you back. He said we got Darren in negotiations. Yeah, I really don't know how those negotiations are going. But from the sounds of it, I mean, I've said this many times, I'm almost for certain we'll be re-signing Duren. If we don't, obviously very disappointing, but I'm almost for certain we'll be re-signing him and he'll be back in Detroit. So from the sounds of it, it sounds like we have him locked up. But yeah, so for DeMar DeRozan, he was released earlier today, and again, if the Pistons want to go get another good scorer who is a good veteran, this is a guy you could target. Would I want him? I don't know. I mean, if we were to sign him right now, I can't say I'd hate it. Same with the Kevin Durant thing. If we were to trade for Kevin Durant right now, I'd be excited. But like, looking at it, is it worth the move? I mean, we do need one more really good scorer, I think. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Outside of that, let's go to the Andre Drummond news. We'll just touch on this quickly. He did sign with the New York Knicks a few days ago, and I was really disappointed because I personally really wanted Andre Drummond. I really think that he could have been that like Isaiah Stewart replacement, came off the bench and really supplied us with some good minutes. Very, very good, rebounder, lob threat, and solid defender as well. So I think it sucks that he is on the Knicks too, because that's like the oppositions, right? But like for the Knicks' sake, I think honestly, not a terrible not a terrible decision by them for the Knicks. I definitely think that you got not a starter, but just a really good guy to come off the bench. All right, let's see what we got here. We got Y2 Chris. What's good, man? He said KD and DeMar would help our offense tremendously. I agree. That's where I'm at too, because I mean, what was our biggest issue last season? It was shooting, right? And defense we had down. I think our team right now is still locked in with defense, but I think the shooting is upgraded with John Collins and Isaiah Joe. But it just feels to me it feels like we're still missing one more elite shot creator or scorer, right? And DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Durant are two of the best shot creators in the league. So why not go after one of those two, right? I agree with you, Y2 Chris. Marcus Newsom said Collins is a stretch four. Joe is the best 3-point shooting guard for the Pistons since. Yeah, I agree. Like, can't remember the last time we had a over 42% three shooter. Duncan is a proven three. Caden Durant with plenty of space for the pick and roll. Yeah, I mean you have so much floor spacing now, right? You have Collins can space the floor just as well as Tobias did, maybe even better. You have Duran down low, and then you have Asar, who's kind of just a wing, right? He kind of on offense, he kind of is just out there, like looking for a layup, cutting and stuff like that. And then for obviously, for Duncan or Isaiah Joe, whichever one you want to throw in there, those are just 3-point snipers, right? So I definitely agree. I'm liking the team right now. I'm liking. I just think we're one piece away from being a true contender. Like this past season, it kind of felt like that too. Like, good team, won 60 games, the number one seed, but it didn't really feel like we were true contenders, if you know what I mean. Could we have won it all? Sure, but like I don't know. Ibrahim said we need to trade Karis LeVert ASAP. That'll take my offseason grade to an A. I don't disagree. I've been saying him and Sasser need to go. I mean, I'd love to keep Sasser. If Sasser's willing to be like a third stringer, then keep him. Because for me personally, Sasser is one of the most underrated players I've ever seen on the Detroit Pistons. Like, literally a guy who is an elite scorer at, really any level and a decent defender too. I know he's a little smaller, unathletic, but like he is a heater. Like when he gets hot, he can score. But yeah, Karras, I think there's just no room on the team for him anymore. He was okay for us last year. I didn't really love his production, but overall, like he was okay. He had a good playoff run too for us. He was just a good vet to come off the bench, so I appreciated him for that. But no room on this team for him anymore. We have Danis, we have Abuka, and we just got Isaiah Joe. I think that him and Sasser just don't have any room. And again, I'm fine with keeping Sasser because he doesn't really cost much anyway, but he is going into his final year. So I think that honestly at this point, it's just time to package both of them up and try and get something out of them. Ibrahim also said some guys last year, or sorry, some guys last year I generally thought Karras was under the influence. Some games last year he thought he was under the influence. Yeah, he was just not the same player he was a couple years ago. Like he used to be a really good scorer and shooter, and like last year he genuinely was just like an idiot some games. Like he might have been under the influence. You might be right about that, but he was not great. Y2 Chris said if Asar cannot develop a jump shot this coming season, Hope may need to have a good slashing game. Yeah, so I've been saying that about Asar too. Like here, we'll go to the roster real quick. Where they at? I had them in here somewhere. There they are. So I've been saying this kind of all, even last season, like Asar Thompson, elite player, one of the best role players in the league. If he can't develop a jump shot and be more aggressive shooting the ball and helping out Cade, then he really, isn't going to be worth as much because this is his contract year coming up, correct? So if he really wants to get paid, which it sounds like we are willing to pay him, if he doesn't develop a jumper this season, then I mean, he's not going to get more than 25, 30 million, I don't think. He was a top 5 pick though, so I don't really know. But overall, like if Asar can develop a nice jumper this season, maybe hit the 3 ball here and there, maybe, if he shoots 33% from 3, that's all we need, right? If he can just be more aggressive shooting, like if he could average over 10 points per game, like 12 to 14 ish, then like I really think that he could probably be considered the best role player in the league. And it would help Cade out a lot too. If he can, like you said, he needs to have a slashing game. Yeah, he's pretty good with that right now, right? Like you see him cut to the basket a lot, get some easy dunks and layups. He has a really nice layup package. His biggest thing is if he can just develop like a nice fadeaway or like just and he does it sometimes. He just isn't as aggressive with it because he knows that like he's not great at it and that his role is to play defense and pass the ball. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do if he just gets a nice jumper, man. Like it is over. But yeah, let me know what else you guys are thinking. We'll go back to where were we? I think we were at Andre Drummond. Yeah, basically covered that. The Knicks got him. Good for them, right? That's a good pickup. I would have loved to have had Andre, but um, Y2 Chris said perhaps a teardrop for Asar is more viable. Yeah, that's true. He definitely, like I said, has a pretty nice like layup package. I just think that like there are times where I wish he would be a little more aggressive and maybe, yeah, like develop a couple more things into his offensive game. So we'll see what happens though. All right. So we have the two rookies. I might come back to them because we're going to talk about the summer league stuff a lot today. But if you guys have anything to say about either one of them, then obviously I'll talk about them. But what else do we have? Jalen Duren, not anything to really say, right? We really haven't heard anything. It sounds like he's going to be back in Detroit. Nothing to worry about. But the fact that they haven't signed him yet is a little concerning. But I think we'll probably see him re-signed here soon. Hopefully, I just think he's whatever exploring his options. But I hope he truly does want to re-sign with us. I mean, again, the Pistons control him anyway. Like if we want to re-sign him, we'll re-sign him. No one can take him. But the issue is that if he doesn't want to play for us, that's what's going to suck, right? Like we don't want a player that's not going to want to win a championship because this past playoffs, he was probably the biggest reason that we didn't make it past the Cavs, right? He was just terrible all playoffs. But yeah, nothing really much though with the Duran news. So let me know if you guys have heard anything, but I have not heard anything in the last like 5 days. So we already kind of talked about the roster. Let me know if you guys have any other thoughts on this roster. Obviously, I have Isaiah Joe over Duncan here. Let me know if you guys would rather have Duncan start. I would rather have Duncan off the bench as like a backup 2 or 3. But I like Isaiah Joe a lot. I think he's gonna fit so well next to Cade, so I kind of had him in the starting five. Y2 Chris said a Corey pick getting good grades from other sports sites. Yeah, we'll go up to him. We'll talk about him for a minute. Yeah, this is again. I said this earlier. I don't know if you were in here, Y2 Chris, but I said that when we first picked this guy, I was pretty disappointed. There was a lot of names that I really liked this draft, and Corey wasn't really one that I ever had my eye on. Now looking back, I'm liking this pick more and more, like every single day. So I am very interested to see what he does in the summer league, and then obviously I'm hoping that we can use this guy right, and hopefully he performs well, right? So I'm excited for Abuka. I think that he could have a really good role in this team, and maybe in a couple of years he'll be a starter. We'll see. D-Town 101 was good, man. He said today's the last day for anyone to offer Duren. I did not know that. Wow, thank you for that information. So I mean, basically, this is the last day that any team will be able to make an offer, and obviously, either way, Pistons will probably match it, right? We'll probably go out and make sure that Darren's staying, but I'm interested to see what the contract's going to look like. I wonder if we'll more than likely give him that max. I wonder like how long we'll re-sign him for too, if it'll be like a 5-year deal or whatnot. But I'm interested to see. But thanks for that update, D-Town. I did not know that. So we'll see. I guess we'll probably get a lot of more information tomorrow and maybe on Wednesday as well. But thank you for that, chat. Yeah, we got 17 people in here, guys. What is going on? Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. If you haven't already, throw something down in the chat. Say what's up. Give me your thoughts on anything sports related. It really doesn't matter. And I'll respond to it. And then also make sure to hit that like button. If you feel like it, please do hit that subscribe button. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, we'll move. We got D-Town 101 said, I heard we were looking at about 30 million per year. Really? Wow, that is a. I'm not gonna lie, D-Town. That is way less than I expected. I was expecting because I think the most we can give him his first year is like 41 million, but then after that, I think it's like 49. I was expecting it to be like over 40 million a year. I'm very intrigued that we're only looking at 30 million is exact. If I were to sign Jalen Duren, I would give him probably 30 to 35 million. Like that. That to me would be probably the perfect contract for him because, again, he's not really a great shooter. He's not a great defender by any means, but he is a damn good lob threat next to Cade. He's a great rebounder. He's a pretty good passer too, and he does have some really good post moves. Um, he's been developing, right. He's only 22 years old. He actually has the same birthday as me. He's just 1 year older. So I heard we were looking at about 30. So 30 mil. I would, if we get him for 30 mil, D Town, I would be very ecstatic. I thought we were gonna probably be pushing 35, 40 million. Y2 Chris said, I thought we were going to get Cam Carr, but Trajan wanted Abuka, and we heard Toronto talking to Abuka at 19, so he went for it. Yeah, and he would have been a good fit in Toronto because Toronto needs him. Yes, I agree. I thought we were going to go for Cam Carr. That was my number one player that I was hoping for and thinking we'd probably get. I also liked LeBaron Fillin and Bennett Sturts. I think Sturts went right before us, though. Um, or maybe he went right after us. I'm not really sure. He might have gone pick 19. But either way, yeah, I think it's from the sounds of it, Trajan had his eyes on Abuka, and they saw that he was probably going to get taken pick 19, so he traded up, and honestly, yeah, I mean, he made a good pick. I didn't love it at first, but looking at it now, this is a pick that I really think could have a big impact for us. Not even, not only this year, but just for the future. Um, I guess I said that backwards. Not only for the future, but for this year, I think he could honestly help us out a lot. He's a really good defender, good scorer, and he can play point guard too. So now, what does this mean for Dennis Jenkins? More than likely, they'll probably just be coming off the bench alongside each other. You'll put one at the two, or you put one at the one at the two. I don't know. I'm interested to see kind of what the rotation will look like this year. I just hope we give this guy some minutes because I think he can ball. I think he's going to be a good player, and in the future will be a very valuable pick for where he was taken. I like it. Um, but yeah, great chats so far though, guys. Keep it up. If you just joined in or you haven't yet, make sure to throw some in the chat. Give me your thoughts on anything sports related, not even just Detroit related, but obviously we're kind of talking Detroit Pistons right now. Y2 Chris also said Cade / Abuka can be our modern Zeke and Dumars. Hell yeah. I was saying, I think that for sure, I think I could see Abuka maybe starting in the near future. Probably not this year, probably not next year either, but maybe come year, 3. Now he's a little shorter, but honestly, either way, like if you watch his tape, he is elite. And I don't know. We need to see what he does first. Like we need to give him his rookie season and see kind of what we'll get out of him, because being 6'1", but he does have a pretty decent wingspan for being 6'1", and he is very athletic and quick and shifty. So I'm excited. Shaw Cardboard Treasures, what's good, man? Good to see you back. Said that they should sign Kuminga into the trade exemption. I don't disagree with that at all. Kuminga is one of my favorite role players in the league. He is a very, very good defender, good shooter, and just great player to have on your team. If the Pistons were to go get Jonathan Kuminga, I think that could really spark. I mean, honestly, before I say something stupid, let me look this up real quick. I'm trying to see how we could use him. So yeah, I mean, I guess he is a power forward. I was gonna say you could maybe throw him at the 2, but it doesn't. It looks like he's more of a power forward / small forward. I want to see his stats though. He's 6'7", and he shot 33% from 3. So he's an all right 3 shooter, not great, but either way, very good defender, good scorer, and he's pretty good size too. So I would not mind Kuminga. I don't disagree with that at all. Shaw Cardboard Treasures trade exemption expire tomorrow. Yeah, that's true. Maybe. I mean, I think tomorrow we'll probably get a lot of news around the NBA, obviously, because I think today we really didn't get much other than the DeMar DeRozan stuff. But trade exemption expires tomorrow. So honestly, yeah, I think if you want to go get Jonathan Kuminga, you're gonna have to do it. You want to do it soon because there's going to be other teams probably looking at him too. Very good, like I said, very good role player. Very good role player. Um, he was good for the Hawks this year. I think there's probably going to be other teams looking at him because you could probably get him on a cheaper deal too. I don't think he'd cost too much. I like that idea though, definitely a lot. We'll talk about some other players. We'll keep moving here, but yeah, let me know anything else you guys want to talk about. We'll come back to the two rookies. We'll talk a lot about the summer league here coming up. Um, but we'll keep going. We talked about Jalen Duren. We talked about the roster. PJ Washington. Not really any more news. There was a big rumor with the whole Mavericks thing with them kind of wanting Sasser. So I was thinking we trade Sasser and Karras, maybe get PJ out of it. But from the sounds of it, I'm not 100% sure if we will end up getting PJ. Because I have not heard any more news from the Mavericks on being interested in trading. But he is still on the Mavericks. We'll see if he ends up getting traded or if the Pistons even make a move with him. But Y2 Chris said if Duren stays, he will benefit the most during the playoffs because we now have a lot of floor spacers. Damn right. If you have floor spacers around Cade, not only does that help him, but it's going to help Duren down low because Duren's going to be able to be all alone down in that paint, right? So, like I said, Duren's got good post moves. He's got a big, athletic, nice frame to him. He'll be able to dominate in the post with the amount of floor spacers that we have now. So it's going to be hard for teams to double him, when you have John Collins and Isaiah Joe and, Asar Thompson out in the wing. It's going to be hard for teams to double him without someone getting open. And, almost all those guys I just mentioned are elite shooters outside of Asar, who we hope will hopefully develop a shot. We'll see. But yeah, let me know do you guys even want PJ Washington or is his contract too bad? Let me know what you guys think. But we also have obviously Trey Murphy, who I really would love. Trey Murphy, I think, would be great. Now, would he cost too much to get? Probably, right? He's an expensive one. But would it be worth it? I think so. I think you could throw him at the 2 as a starter. And I think that this would be the final piece to your lineup to be a finals contender. Would he cost a lot? Yes. Would it be worth it? Yes. So let me know what you guys think about Trey Murphy. Would you want him in Detroit? We talked about him before too, but I wanted to talk about the Anthony Simons. I forget who he just signed to. Was it not the Celtics? Or did he go back to the Celtics? I should have probably wrote that down, but whatever. But I heard a lot of Pistons fans saying that they wanted him. I would have loved him, but he's gone now. It's good for him. We also have the Roy Hachimura stuff. I think a lot of Pistons fans were really wanting him. A really good shooter. Would have been a really good Tobias replacement. I think after we got Collins, that kind of dropped, but he ended up signing with the Clippers today. So we'll see there. We also have John Collins. We'll talk about him in a little bit. We'll go back to where's the roster? There it is. We got D-Town 101 said, yeah, we definitely need a back or starting power forward. I definitely would rather have Collins off the bench if we don't get starting second option next to Cade. Yeah, I'm fine with Collins starting, but could we upgrade there again? Sure. I think honestly for me, D-Town 101, I think Collins is okay. I'm okay with him starting because your bench is going to be, we really don't, the thing is we really don't have a backup 4. But right now our backup 4 is like Ron Holland, and he's more of a 3. So I think that, yeah, we that's why I wanted Andre Drummond. I think he could have been a good backup. Him and Paul Reed off the bench with Collins and Duren starting, because Collins is a good floor spacer, good shooter, pretty good scorer. So I think that I'm okay with Collins, but if we were to upgrade, like let's say if we were to go get a Kevin Durant or someone like that, yeah, I agree. But we'll see. 313 Elbow, what's good, man? He said still need another two-way shot creator type player. Yes, because that's what we're missing. And that's what Cade's missing. Cade needs just one more player that can create for themselves. Because right now, what you are looking at is just a bunch of like I like this roster. This is a good roster, a roster that could get you to the conference semifinals, conference finals, especially with the depth that you have off the bench. But I still think that you need one more player who can create a shot for themselves, because you have Isaiah Joe, spot up shooter. Asar Thompson, just cut to the basket, get layups and dunks. John Collins, more of a spot up shooter but can create. And then Duren, who can't really shoot the ball but does have post moves. So, I would love to just go get like one more guy who is able to create their own shot for Cade, right? D-Town 101 also said Kaminga or Cam Johnson would be solid. Yeah, Cam Johnson would be nice too. I've heard a lot of people talk about him. And yeah, Kaminga would be very nice. 313 Elbow said, and yes, Trey would be a better fit instead of KD. I would rather have Trey over KD. Trey's a lot younger, more athletic, probably a little bit better at defense as well. I would rather have Trey. Ibrahim said, banger lineup and graphic. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, this would be my starting lineup if we were to keep the roster we have right now. You could argue Duncan over Joe, but I would rather have Duncan off the bench. Kali, what is good, man? What up, Dale fam? Good to see you back. I was waiting for you. Sorry I started a little late tonight. Glad to see you in here though. Like I said, I will probably go to like one ish tonight, since I started a little late, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Y2 Chris said KD will put Detroit into the headlines. Trey Murphy will be more adapted for our culture. Perfect way to put it. Perfect way to put it. Wow. Yeah, obviously, if we go get KD, right, everyone's going to be talking about, oh, the Pistons got KD. Oh, the Pistons are going to win it all. Oh, all this stuff about that. But in reality, to me, we'll go back up to KD. Where's he at? He should be right here. Um, as much as I do respect KD, one of the best scorers of all time. Um, as much as I do appreciate him, he tends to be a bit of a, what do you call it? A bit of a, almost like a locker room like cancer, like wherever he goes. Like he's kind of just brings down team chemistry a little bit, if you know what I mean. Like he's not, I don't know. Would he be good here? Yes, we could definitely use him. He's a little older, a little expensive, and not a great defender, but again, a very good shooter who could help out this team a lot. Now, would I take him over Trey Murphy? No. I would rather have Trey Murphy. Him or Tyler Hero, I would take. Those are two guys that can create for themselves and play. I mean, Tyler Hero's not a good defender, but Trey Murphy is a very, um, definitely a better defender than what Kevin Durant is. Now, Kevin Durant is like 7 feet tall and an elite scorer, so it's really, I don't know. Um, Let me know what you guys think about that, though. We have D-Town 101 said, I wish we would trade Darren to the Kings for Sabonis. Dude is a walking triple double. Yeah, I've always said that when the trade talks came up that if we were to trade Darren for Sabonis, I wouldn't be upset because Sabonis would be the one center that I probably would be okay with trading for, realistically. But I would rather keep Darren because of team chemistry, the fit, and how young he is. And the thing with Sabonis, D-Town, is that, to be honest, he is a little injury prone, and he is a better shooter. Rebounding wise, pretty similar. Passing wise, pretty similar. But I mean, like you said, he is triple double machine. Um, but lob threat wise is where Duran beats him, right? Sabonis would be nice, but I think his contract's a little too high, and I think I would rather keep Duran, who's younger, better lob threat, and has some really nice post moves and good rebounding as well. Kali said, I think Trajan is working on a trade for Trey Murphy, but New Orleans wants Holland, and Trajan does not want to give him up. Yeah, I mean, that was his first draft pick, right? Also, Troy Weaver and Dumars don't really want to do Detroit any favors. Yeah, well, yeah. Troy Weaver, I forgot about that name. I haven't heard that name in a minute. Um, yeah, and Dumars don't want to do him any favors. Yeah, and then also, like you said, with working on a trade, if we're working on a trade for Trey Murphy, which I heard that we were kind of talking about it, I would be so. If we were to get Trey Murphy, I think that is the best possible player that you could get to finish this team and polish it off, right? If you go trade for him, you get rid of a couple of your bench dwellers like Karras or Sasser. You get rid of a couple first round picks and just sacrifice them to, go to win now mode. I think that is exactly what we need. If Trey Murphy is my number one target, he would really top off this team, and he would make us the probably front runner to win it all. I think right now that's the one piece that we're missing is Trey Murphy. Let me know what you guys think about that. Is Trey Murphy to Detroit the best move that we could make, and would that be the move that takes us to the finals? I think it would be. 313 Elbow said, hate to say it, but just move on from Duran, do a sign and trade with the Pelicans, come off them, draft picks, and take Trey with their center. Who is their center right now? Is it Zion? I wouldn't love Zion as my start. I would love him as like a starting four, but again, very injury prone, not a great. Well, I mean, he's a good lob threat, but not really as dominant as what he was. So I don't know. I think if we were to do a sign and trade with Duran, I don't know. There's a couple options out there, but like I don't think we're gonna do it. I think we're keeping Duran. I'm almost 90. I'm like 99% sure, but I don't know. I don't disagree that like um obviously getting Trey Murphy out of that deal, but I also Messi is their center. Yeah, okay. He's all right. A little bit younger. I just think I will agree though that um that you said they better move quick because the Celtics are closing in on them. Yeah, I mean again, I think that we'll match that deal. If we would have traded Duran for like I don't know Jalen Brown or something, that'd have been pretty cool. But I do not think that we'll be trading Duran. I think we're keeping him. I would rather keep him. He's young, he's talented, and a good fit next to Cade. And if you're going to trade him, you would have to get a replacement that's just as good. That's why I would say Sabonis. You said Sabonis not a great fit. Yeah, I wouldn't really want Sabonis that much, but if we were to trade Duran, I think that that's probably who I would want. But again, I don't think we're trading Duran. Y2 Chris said if Trajan does a trade, I hope he adds Careless Levert to the package. Yeah, my top two that are going to get traded: Careless Levert, Marcus Sasser. So we'll see. I think that that's kind of what you need to do because those two just don't have any room on this team anymore, right? Um, Ibrahim said Trey Murphy as our shooting guard would be the one piece that makes us contenders. Exactly what I said. You put Trey Murphy, who's like 6'8", at that shooting guard spot next to, I mean, I don't know how tall you guys think Cade Cunningham is, but from what I've heard, especially with his afro, he's 6'8". So you have 6'8", Asar Thompson, who's like 6'7" or 6'8", John Collins, who's I think 6'10", and then Duran, who's also like 6'10", 6'11". You would have a really tall lineup, and that would be look at all the other tall lineups around the NBA with teams like the Magic, who gave us trouble, the Cavs, even the Jazz have a really tall lineup too, right? But I mean, they're not that good. The Heat, I'm trying to think of who else. Just really good teams that have those tall lineups. I think that would be a really good move. I heard. Wait, I thought I saw. Oh, there it is. I'm trying to say the name right. Dat Bastard. What's good, man? Good to thanks for the chat. You said, what about Ben Mathurin for bench scoring? Yes, I've heard we talked about him in the last live stream. Yes, I like Ben Mathurin. He was one of my top targets coming out of college when he was in that draft with Ivy. I really like Mathurin, and I think obviously being on the Clippers, like anyone who's on the Clippers, look at John Collins, like misused, didn't get used right. I would love to see Ben Mathurin for bench scoring. Honestly, he could even start. He could start. Very good, and he would replace Ivy very well. Because Ivy was he was good for us before he got hurt, so I would not mind that. Kali said that they said they're not trading Zion. Well, there you go. I wouldn't really want Zion unless if we were to start him at the 4, but yeah, they're not trading him, so you're right. Y2 Chris said there was a time when we had to choose between Ivy and Mathurin. Yeah, and I really liked both. I was a big Ivy guy. I really thought that him and Cade could work. It was a bit of a risk, but I thought that if Ivy just stayed healthy, obviously if Cade stayed healthy, I thought that that could have been such a good duo. Didn't work out. Mathurin really hasn't. He was really good on the Pacers, but ever since he left the Pacers, he just hasn't been. But again, when you're on the Clippers, you're not that good. 313 Elbow said JB deal give the Celtics a lot of draft capital. Oh yeah, because they got the 2 first-round picks, Paul George, and then I really dislike that trade, but they did get. I mean, Paul George is the franchise starter, right? I mean, look what he did for all the teams that he's been traded from. He really seen or traded to or traded from. I don't know. I don't know how to word it, but I think it's traded from because whenever he gets traded, like with the Thunder, like he is just the most valuable player of all time for whatever reason. But yeah, they did get a lot of draft capital. D Town 101 said win now. I feel it's KD. Trey is not really a 4 and can't really create his own shot. Also, the asking price is very high for him. I wouldn't mind him at a low cost, but it doesn't sound like the case. I don't disagree with that because, like you said, Trey would cost a lot. Like he would probably cost you 3 first-round picks and then Karras and Sasser if I had to assume. But I would personally take Trey in a heartbeat because here's the thing. D Town, you can throw Trey at the two. Now you did say he's not really the greatest shot creator. Yeah, he he could be better. I think because he's more of just a really good shooter. But I think like when you compare him to like who we had last year, like who we have the two last year, Duncan Robinson. Um, he can definitely create his own. He can take it to the rim. He's pretty athletic, and he's got a decent mid range shot. I would like to see him do. If he were to come here, I'd like to see him do that a little more instead of jacking up threes. But I think Trey Murphy would really take us over the edge. Um, KD would be nice too, though. You could start him at the four, have John Collins off the bench. 313 Elbow said, my sleeper team in the East is the Pacers. Yeah, I haven't really been high on them because I don't know. Their roster is very interesting, and it sucks that they didn't get a lottery pick this year because the NBA draft lottery is just rigged. But if there's a sleeper team in the East, it's probably going to be the Pacers. My sleeper team personally is the Wizards. I think they have a really nice looking roster if everyone stays healthy. Pacers are a team to watch though because I think everyone's going to forget about them after their down year last year. But with Tyrese Halliburton coming back, man. Um, Ibrahim said that lineup with Trey Murphy would be switchable with no weaknesses on defense. Yeah, exactly. Not a single weakness on defense because you got, again, a very tall lineup with a lot of talent and a lot of good shooters. So, um, Deb Bassett said Bulls have a young, tall lineup. Yeah, they after adding and they got Norman Powell in there too, really good scorer. So, yeah, they do as well. Troy, good to see you again, man. You said we need KD or Trey. I agree. If we were to get if we were to get KD, would I be upset? Probably not. Do I want us to get KD? No, I'd probably rather get Trey, Tyler Hero, a couple other names out there too that we could go after. I'm trying to think. But yeah, if we were to get KD, that'd be pretty sick. Like we'd be all over the headlines. Like Cade and KD would be such a sick duo, man. And I could see KD working for us. Like he did on the Rockets. He's really like yeah, he's good, but like I could see him just being so much better with us alongside Cade, an elite scorer and shooter, can create on his own. It would fit so perfect for us. Y2 Chris said Brad Steve hated JB's smart. Oh, yeah, I think him and I think that the Celtics GM and JB had quite a bit of beef. I don't know what it was. I mean, to disrespect a Finals MVP and literal All NBA player like that was pretty crazy. Kali said that New Orleans wants three first plus Levert and Holland. Yeah. Ooh, Levert and Holland. Ooh, Holland would be a tough one to move on from. I really like Holland. He's a young player with a lot of talent. Um, I think that he hasn't really proven himself to be a top five pick yet, but I think he's getting there. He's a developmental piece, and I don't know. I really do hope that we. I'd like to keep him, but I don't know, man. I could see us packaging up Ron. I hope we don't. I hope honestly, I'd rather just give up like another first round pick, or I'd rather give up a couple second round picks instead of Ron Holland. Like they can take Harrison Sasser, but I would like to keep Ron because he's a very good bench guy. But if we do give up Ron and we get Trey Murphy, you know what? That's fine with me, um, because you're getting an elite player there, right? The issue is that then your bench is literally like, if you get Trey Murphy and you start him at the two, that means your bench is literally going to be Danis, Abuka, Duncan, Isaiah Joe. Like those are four like guards. Like ugh. So I don't know. Maybe I mean you could package up Duncan maybe instead. I'd like to keep Duncan though because dude's a good spot up shooter and good floor spacer, good passer. Um, what else do we got? Holy crap! I looked up and there's a bunch of chats. Trey John doesn't want to give up Holland. Yeah, I agree, Kali. I hope we don't. I'd like to keep him. If we have to give him up to get Trey Murphy, then that's okay. But I mean, I would rather keep him. Like we need that dude. Absolute energizer when he's in there. 313 Elbow said Wizards are injury prone. Yeah, that is true. Troy said I do three first for Trey. Our first are late rounds. Anyway, that's what I've been saying. Like people are always like, no, we need to keep our first round picks. Guys, look, I love our first round picks because you can get so much talent, but like think about where we're gonna be picking, especially if we have an even better year this year. We're gonna just keep getting further and further back. Like when you're picking 20 and later, you're really not getting, insane talent. So I mean, we honestly, I 100% agree, Troy. I'd give up three first in a heartbeat, along with. I mean, I'd be a little iffy to give up four. That's kind of a lot. That's kind of like when the Magic gave up four to get Desmond Bain. Like I was like, but I mean, I'd take Trey Murphy over Desmond Bain any day. So I'd give up three, and I'd give up a couple players. Um, Hopefully, Karras would be one of them, and then probably it would be Ron. But if we could just give up a couple second round picks instead of Ron. D-Town 101 said, yeah, Trajan definitely not giving up Ron. Yeah, I doubt it. I think that's kind of why we're not making any more trades, is because everyone wants Ron, but we're not willing to give him up. But I do think we'll probably trade for somebody. We'll see. D-Town 101 said, oh, I already read that. Ibrahim said, giving up Holland feels like Toronto losing T-Mac when they advance. Yeah, it does. Just an absolute energizer off the bench. We'll see. Tenaj said, I've been watching the Pistons since literally the mid 80s. Damn. We got an OG. Trajan is not a good GM. He failed at the trade deadline. Very true. And he's failing again now when everything was available. He needs to be fired. I mean, yeah, I definitely don't disagree with some of what you said. I don't think he needs to be fired yet because we were a one seed this past year. And since he's been here, he has gotten us better and better each year. So I think a lot of people are frustrated with Trajan. I just think that we need to trust the process for now. And if this year is really rough, then 100%, yeah. I mean, Trajan, like, I think right now he's just getting carried by Cade and JB Bickerstaff. So we'll see. Dooms Dave, what's good, man? He said, "What's up with the cryptic IG post KD did? He knew what he was doing there. I seen that, man. What was that earlier this morning? Maybe. I did see that, and we're in the Detroit hat. And is that a sign? Is that a sign? Maybe. Again, I would not be opposed to KD. Detail 101 said Sasser's in Dallas. Yeah, it sounds like he's going to Dallas. I don't think we're going to get much out of it either. Probably like a second round pick. 313 Elbow said, I agree, Trajan did fail. Last offseason and trading deadline, he's not failing this year. The Pistons become a lottery team this year. Trajan needs to be on thin ice. Absolutely. If we don't make the playoffs this year, for whatever fucking reason, unless it's due to like a bunch of injuries, right? But if we don't make the playoffs this year or we're like an 8 seed, then yeah, he needs to be on thin ice because you can't just go from a 1 seed to, if we're anything below a 5 seed, I would agree. Kali said he agrees with Tenaj. I hear you, bro. I'm pretty frustrated right now with Trajan. He set us back. Only way he can redeem himself is to come up with a Grand Slam trade. Yep. If he goes and gets Trey Murphy, you know what? Even if he gets KD or Tyler Hero, I think that's what we need. Y2 Chris said Ron still has. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped. 313 Elbow said, man, get off them draft picks because they will not be lottery team picks. They're meaningless. Yes. That's why that's what you see when you see teams get into this contending stage like the Pistons are right now, where we're able to compete for a championship. You see them go and make those trades because they're like, you know what, these first round picks aren't going to mean anything anyway, right? We don't need them. We're going to be one of the top teams for the next 5 years. We can get rid of 3 or 4 of them, and they're not going to mean anything because they're going to be picked like 25. Like, what are you going to get at pick 25? Another bench player that's going to be in the G League? Like, even Sasser was like pick 25, and he isn't playing for us barely. So I 100% agree. Y2 Chris said Ron still has a lot of potential. He's kind of like Marcus Smart. Yeah, I really like Ron. A lot of people kind of hate on him because he hasn't really proven to be a top 5 pick yet. I see him as a really young player who's like 20 years old, very, very good defender, and just an energizer when he's on the court. And he's been working on a shot. His shot's getting better. Tanaj said, Kaldi, I hear you, bro. But he won't do it. But Trajan won't do anything. Just watch. I don't know. We'll see. Kali said Trajan signed Tobias. That's pretty much the only good move he's done. I mean, I've liked a couple of things. I liked the Isaiah Joe trade. I liked the John Collins signing. But I don't know. I just think that when you look at it, he really needs to just go and make one more big move. Ibrahim said Sasser's been traded to the Mavericks. I don't think it's officially gone through yet, though. At least from what I've heard. I think from the sounds of it, he's going to the Mavericks. I just don't think they've worked out the full details or something. I don't know. I think that personally we need. We'll see if anything else comes out. Kali said, "I see Pistons as a 7 seed with 45-ish wins." If you're looking at the roster right now, I don't disagree. I would say with the roster right now, we're due for about 50. Um, Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Depends on injuries, really. I think with the lineup we have, here's the thing, guys. Our lineup, our roster this year is very similar to last year's, right? And we won 60 games last year. Now the East is going to be a little tougher this year, with a lot of people coming off injuries. Um, but here's the thing. I think, yeah, 45 wins. I don't hate that prediction. I think that's a little lower than I'd go. I think we're due for 52, which is probably like a 4 seed, maybe a five, and that's kind of what I'm expecting. I think this roster is good. It's similar to last year's. I just don't know if it's good enough. Y2 Chris said, "F the future picks. Championship window is now. This coming season, we need to resolve the Duran drama soon and get our Robin of Cade's Batman." Perfect way to put it. Get the Duran shit settled. Get him signed back and go get Cade a wingman. Go get him an elite guy who can score from all three levels and hopefully isn't a traffic cone on defense, right? But KD, Trey Murphy, Tyler Hero, those are three names. Like just get three. You know what? Fuck it. Give up 4 first round picks. I don't care. We don't need the picks. We've had a first round pick in every single draft except for last year, and we don't need any more picks. We already have our core set. After Ibuka, which again I didn't even think we needed a first round pick this year, but after we got Ibuka, Corey, it's at this point you need to just trade 3 first round picks. Just do it. Because we don't need them. They're going to be late picks anyway, and we don't need any more picks because we've already we got Cade locked up, Sar's about to be locked up, Duran's about to be locked up. Now you're just filling in gaps around them. Go get Trey Murphy. We'll see. 313 Elbow said Ron is only as good as JB. Let him. JB is horrible with developing our young players. Yeah, I don't know, man. Ron did not get used right. I mean, he literally got like 15 minutes a game in the regular season, and then when it came to the playoffs, the dude never played. I hated JB's rotations in the playoffs. It was terrible. We were running like an 8-man lineup, and I'm like, JB, you have Javonte Green, who was an animal off the bench for us this season. And Ron Holland, who's an absolute energizer. You have Paul Reed, who honestly was outperforming Duran and Isaiah Stewart for a lot of the season. Um, I don't know. Whenever like those three guys came in, they were making a difference. So, but he was still so stuck on Karis LeVert over Marcus Sasser, even a guy who I really like. So he was just so stuck on some of those players. I don't know what that was about. Iram said we can't make that big move till Duran's situation is resolved. Hostage simulation, yeah. I think once we get the Duran situation figured out, I think that's when we'll go make a trade for KD, Trey, Tyler Hero. Obviously, I'm hoping if we don't go make another good trade, I don't think we're winning it all this year. We might make the playoffs. It'll probably be similar to last year. D-Town 101 said he agrees with Y2 Chris. As soon as they get this Duran contract cleared up, hopefully soon, Trajan Langdon is going to go grab that secondary for Cade. Hopefully. That's what I'm thinking, right? That's what I just said. If I'm Trajan Langdon and I'm trying to keep my job and keep this Pistons team as one of the best teams and number one seed, you need to go get one more player. And you know what, Trajan? I'll say this. If you go give up 3 first-round picks, Karis LeVert, whatever, if you go give that up and go get one more good player next to Cade who can create their own shot, score, and play decent defense, if you can go do that, and even if we don't win it all, with that move, or let's say maybe that move ends up not really paying out for us very well, the player isn't very good for us, even if that happens, I will still give you the benefit of the doubt for making that move and willing to take the risk and willing to put the Pistons in that position, because right now this team is not good enough. We're not going to be able to beat the 76ers. The Knicks, I mean, we beat them this year, but are we going to be able to beat them in a 7-game series? I don't know. Same thing in the Miami Heat. You're going to have Giannis and Bam to deal with. Just go and get somebody, please. Give up a couple picks. Give up a player or two. We'll see. Tanash said, Trajan Tragic Langdon should be fired for 4 major reasons. Number 1, trading Beef Stew for 2 second-round picks. That was terrible. Absolutely hated that. Number 2, no trade deadline moves. Yeah. Not going and getting a Michael Porter Jr. or someone at the trade deadline was absolutely terrible. And number 3, giving Kevin Huerter $27 million. Yeah, that fucking I scratched my head at that move too. Those are 3 really good points, by the way. Number four this offseason. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I liked the John Collins move. I liked the Isaiah Joe move, but I also did not love letting go of Tobias. That was not something I think we should have done. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was on his end, on Tobias's end, or if that was on the Pistons end. So, Kali said he's trying to give Trajan some grades, but he's pretty upset. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the middle. If I were to give Trajan a grade right now, I'd give him like a 5 out of 10. Like, pretty mid, pretty mediocre, pretty average. Like, I think the team's there. I just, you have Cade Cunningham, right? And as long as you get Duran back and you have Asar, like, you'll have your core three. You've got pretty good shooters now with John Collins, Isaiah Joe additions. But again, letting go of Beef Stew and Tobias was just not a move I wanted to see. 313 Elbow said, if you notice, other teams trusted their young players in the playoffs, but us, unless the veterans, yeah, we didn't play any of the young players. We're playing together for years and developed chemistry. I'm not sure what that was about. Like, you got to trust your guys, right? Those guys on the bench, like Ron Holland, Marcus Sasser, who didn't play much, Javante Green, Paul Reed, those are guys that helped you get to 60 wins this year. So just refusing to play them in the playoffs, I thought was super stupid. 313 Elbow also said that Stu trade was good because they ended up getting Isaiah Joe. Yeah, that's how I kind of looked at it too. But in the same sense, I don't think that getting rid of Beef Stew, I would have rather. Here's another thing, 313, is that we also traded 3 second-round picks to move up and take Ibuka Okori. I would rather have Isaiah Stewart than Ibuka Okori. Even though I love Ibuka, I think he'll be good. We should not have gotten rid of Beef Stew. And now we need to replace him still. Y2 Chris said, Tom Gores is willing to spend and is fully aware of the need that Cade to get Cade some major help. Yep. Everyone sees it. Everyone knows that the Pistons need one more move, and they will be a true contender, right? Right now they're kind of a pretender, right? So you have a contender, you have a pretender. This past season, we were pretenders. I knew it. I knew we weren't going to make it past the Cavs, and we were close. They did better than I thought they would, but we were pretenders this year. And same thing going into this coming season with the roster we have right now. Definitely pretenders. Kali said Stu trade had nothing to do with Joe. Wonder if we could pay one of those guards from Portland, Sharp or Holiday. Ooh, I wouldn't mind that. I like Shaden Sharp a lot. Very athletic. Pretty good year this year too. And then Drew Holiday's just a very good. Everywhere he goes, he makes them better. He's kind of like Tobias Harris. Like every team Tobias Harris is on, he just makes them better. Drew Holiday's like that too, and a really good defender as well. What else we got in here? D-Town said all the strong playoff teams have an excellent power forward. Yeah. Pretty much when you look at it. I mean, across the board, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, yeah. And John Collins is good, but he's probably not better than some of those other guys. Mega Hustler, good to see you back in here, man. What's good? He said DeMar has potential to be Pistons' new McDyess, but he's old. He does have a nice jumper, yeah. He is definitely older. Definitely probably cost you a little bit. But yeah, I have him in here somewhere. I wouldn't mind seeing him in Detroit because again, we need one more good shooter, good scorer, and I think that he could provide that for us, and definitely a guy that you could throw there. I just think that honestly, the contract would probably be a little high for me, and also he seems to not really have as good of an impact as what most teams want him to have. But again, he's been on mid teams like the Sacramento Kings, the Chicago Bulls. I don't know. We'll see. I don't mind that though. 313 Elbow said, but one thing is for sure, Trajan is not spending in watching the Abron. Yeah, I hope he goes and spends something. We need one more elite player. It doesn't have to be a crazy, it doesn't have to be Kevin Durant, right? It could just be, even if it was DeMar DeRozan. Mega Hustler said he agrees with Troy. Troy also said, Troy said, Mega, I'll take DeMar. We need scoring. Yeah, I'm okay with DeMar. I think that now that you don't have to trade for him, why not? A good scorer, pretty damn good defender, by the way, as well. And I think would be a good fit next to Cade. He's a little older, have a little bit of a higher contract, not as good as what he was. DeMar DeRozan could be a really good player for this team, though. If you start him at the 2 as well, that could be your guy. That could be your guy that takes you to the next level. I think he could be honestly like I at first I was kind of like like I don't know if I'd love to have him, but to be honest, I would take DeMar in a heartbeat as long as you get a good contract for him. I would love it. Y2 Chris said Drew Holiday is pretty solid. Yeah, I love Drew Holiday. Again, one of my favorite role players in the league. I think he makes every team better that he is on. 3-on-3 Elbow said if Philly don't win, that franchise will be in trouble because of the JB salary. Yeah. With him, Joel Embiid, you have Edgecombe, who's only in year 2 coming up, and plus you have Tyrese Maxey. Those are 3 really high contracts. Like, damn. Gary Williams, good to see you, man. He said people have to relax. Detroit is a better team than we were last year. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of in between. I think we're just honestly, Gary. I think we're very similar to what we were last year. Did we upgrade a little bit? Isaiah Joe definitely an upgrade. I think John Collins is a bit of an upgrade from Tobias, just a little bit. But really, I mean, at the end of the day, you're kind of just in the same situation, except now you don't have Beef Stew, and now you don't have Tobias Harris. Now you have Isaiah Joe, Abuka, Corey, and John Collins. So really, I think it's a very similar team. I would say it's a little better though. It's a little better. Troy said Gary, the East got way better, and we didn't win anything. We haven't got much better. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. The East is going to be a lot better this year. Did we get a little bit better? Yeah, just a little bit. But I don't think we got good enough. That's what I'll say. D-Town said, I honestly don't think we need any more mediocre guards. We have that covered. I agree. We need a proven stretch four, power forward. Yeah, well, here's the thing is I personally think we need a DeMar DeRozan kind of player. Like a guy that you can throw in at the 2 who is a stud, like a stud scorer. Because John Collins, I'm fine with starting. He's a good floor spacer. Will be really good fit next to Cade. If you guys, by the way, if you guys haven't seen John Collins' tape when he was with the Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young, that year they went to like the conference finals and everything, go watch him, man. He was an elite player there. And he was on when he was on the Clippers, he didn't do anything because the Clippers suck. So John Collins is definitely a good player. I think he'll be even better than what Tobias was for us, to be honest. But I don't disagree. Like I'd be fine if we were to go get one more like 4 and then have Collins off the bench, or maybe just have one more player that can come off the bench. But yeah, we don't need any more mediocre shooting guards. But I do think we could use one more star shooting guard, someone who could start, right? Because honestly, Isaiah Joe and Duncan Robinson are more bench guys. Y2 Chris said, what if we get LeBron? Not happening, but that'd be pretty sick. 313 Elbow said, actually, the Stu trade, they received 2 players for 2 second-round picks, and they got 2 draft picks right back. So they really won that trade. Well, yeah, I mean, depends on how you look at it, right? If you look at it that way, yeah. It's just, you can look at it in so many different ways, I feel like. But yeah. D-Town 101 said, it's not happening with the LeBron stuff. I agree. Gary Williams said Detroit is still all about development. Yeah, and that's not what we need to be doing. We are in a win now situation. We are at the point where this team is good enough to compete for an NBA Finals. Kali said we're treading water right now. Yep. Without a doubt. I think that I don't know. YT1WL, what's good, man? He said, is NBA still a sport? It honestly is starting to look more and more like a rigged business, right? I don't know. I obviously still love the NBA and love the Pistons, but sometimes I watch the NBA and I genuinely can't tell if it's rigged or not. Like sometimes it does. Tanaj said, I'll make a prediction right now. When this free agent frenzy is over, Trajan will not make a single major move to get Kate or Robin, and then he'll make an excuse and say I tried or next year. It's probably the most realistic prediction I've heard. Yeah, I mean, he's more than likely going to do exactly what you said, if I'm being honest. I hope that he comes to his senses, though, Tanaj. YT1 said, lol, hold these soft zesties, the Zen calls cinema. He said these players today are pussies. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some some softies. So much flopping nowadays. Like I personally, as much as I do respect SGA and his game, not his game, but like, how successful he's been. I cannot stand watching that fucking guy, man. He is the worst superstar I've ever seen. He's on the floor 90% of the game, begging for calls. He's very talented. He's a very talented guard, but like he just pisses me off the way he plays sometimes. I get drawing fouls, but like he's not even like Cade Cunningham will drive to the basket and absorb contact, get a foul call, right? SGA is just flopping all over the floor, and the refs fall for it. D-Town 101 said we got better at shooting and got a ball handler in the draft, but definitely lost defense in our second shot creator with Harris. Yep. I do love Collins, by the way. I want him for a few years now. Yeah, I've been wanting Collins for at least 2 years now. I think that Collins and Tobias are kind of like very similar players, so that's why I'm fine with it. And I think Collins will fit better because he's more athletic. He's a dunker. And yeah, we definitely upgraded at shooting, and our defense is still solid. So Ibrahim said Trajan got his draft pick, Ibuka. Now we can sell the rest of our stash for win now players. Yeah, like the Karis LeVerts and players like that. Definitely agree. WT1 said props man, good for you though. Yeah, I mean I still love the NBA, but yeah, there's some pussies out there. Troy said it's pretty obviously rigged, man. This season felt so rigged. Like it felt like the NBA wanted the Knicks to win so bad because tell me why. Like if you watch that Pistons Cavs series, the Pistons look like they had it. And then all of a sudden you get to game 5 and it's like we're up like 10 points with like 2 minutes left. And then Asar Thompson gets tripped and there's no call. It just felt so rigged, man. And then like the Knicks just destroying all these teams after they really weren't that good all year. Ugh. And then obviously like I don't know. I think they wanted the Spurs in there too. I don't know. It definitely felt a little rigged, but I might just be skeptical. Kali said every other team in the East got better except the Nets, Bucks, Hornets, or Magic. I would agree with that. Magic didn't really make any moves, did they? Hornets, I really did not like most of their moves. They got rid of 2 of their best players. But honestly, I think for the future it could end up working out because they do need to kind of upgrade at a couple spots. The Bucks got rid of Giannis, so that's really it there. And the Nets are the Nets. So WT1 said, dude, I just subscribed. You got a good perspective on this. Is this a Detroit Pistons channel? Yeah. So it's like a Detroit sports channel. First of all, thank you, by the way. I appreciate the sub and the respect from you, man. That means a lot. Yes, this is more of like a Detroit sports account. Like I just talk about Detroit, but like I also talk about just all sports. Like I'll talk about all NBA news and just interesting stuff. But yeah, as of right now, because there's not really any Detroit Lions news, I've really been strictly focused on the Pistons. So, but yeah, I appreciate you, man. WT1, props to you. Appreciate you for being in here and chatting as well. 313 Elbow said we are not better unless Holland and Jenkins, trying to read this right. Holland and Jenkins work. They behinds off and they come back stronger. Yeah, I think Holland and oh, you're talking about Asar. You said twin. Yeah, Asar needs to get a shot. That is one. If he gets a shot, by the way, he's the best role player in the league. Um, but Holland, yeah, he needs to get a better shot too. He started hitting some shots towards the end of the year though. I think he's getting there. And Jenkins needs to just become more consistent. WT1 said, I'm gonna ask you Pistons question to be fair. Isaiah Stewart and is Asar taking his next step? For Isaiah Stewart, very sad that he's gone. He was one of the heart and souls of this team. I am very sad. And I didn't like that move at all. I would have rather kept him. But the one thing is, I will say is that as good of a defender and role player as he was, and just an enforcer, I can see why we moved on from him because we do have Paul Reed. Paul Reed outperformed him and Duran in the playoffs, so I kind of see what they're going for. They're trying to clear up some cap space, and Paul Reed is also like really young. I thought he was really old. He's like only like 27 or something like that, which is crazy. Y2 Chris said, is Minnesota moving to the Eastern Conference this year? I don't think this year, but I think if they do add those extension teams, which they talked about, Minnesota will be coming to the East. Kali, my guy, said, hey guys, hit the like button, subscribe for the next episode of Motor State Sportscast. That's my guy, Kali. Appreciate you. Yeah, if you guys are in here right now, we got 30 of you. Hit that like button, and if you feel like it, do hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, Kali. I appreciate you. Ibrahim said, Duran got to lose some weight. He was moving insane during the playoffs. Yeah, he was looking a little bigger. I like the weight because he's able to body up against some of those bigger guys. But he needs to stay like athletic. Like he needs to be able to jump. WT1 said that Jalen Brown is so underrated. He's going to go wild this year. Yeah, he's definitely going to. Dude, the Sixers are going to be scary this year. Like, if as a Pistons fan, I'm pretty scared of them. Like, if Joel Embiid stays healthy, that's the biggest thing. If he stays healthy, and obviously Edgecombe, absolute dog. Maxi, amazing player, and then you add in Dean Wade. Actually, was a pretty good move too. Um, I think with those guys right there, I think they also got Anthony Simons, who was a really good move as well for the bench. Yeah, I like, and then now you have Jalen Brown. Like, oh my God, you've got like three All Stars in there basically. It's ridiculous. So if they stay healthy, I mean, they should be in the finals this year. WT1 also said, "Cool, I'll be back. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, man. Means a lot. Appreciate you for chatting with me as well, giving me your opinions. Hope to see you back. Appreciate you." Kali said, "As far as Asar, I don't think he should try force. Um, should force trying to shoot, but he does need to just be aggressive and attacking the basket. Don't force jumpers." It's kind of what I was saying earlier. I think we might have talked about him a little bit before you came in here, Kali, but I said this. I want to see Asar be a little more aggressive this year when it comes to scoring because I think that could help Kate out a lot. Instead of just passing the ball around and, going for rebounds, like if he could, I don't want him just jacking up threes because obviously if he can't shoot threes, then don't shoot him. But like I want to see him actually try and score because I've seen the dude take some like, turn around fadeaway jumpers and hit them. Like I've seen the dude hit shots. I just want to see him take more instead of just, attack the basket, dunk, get your cuts and your passes from Cade, but like go out there and put up some shots, man. Like I want to see, especially in the regular season, like in the playoffs, I get it. You're just doing your role, but like in the regular season, man, like go out and like get your confidence up, work on your game, and just kind of become a better player next to Cade. And maybe you can develop into a even better shooter and hit a couple shots from the outside. But yeah, I definitely agree, Kali. I don't want him just forcing things. I just think he needs to be more aggressive, take more shots, and work on his game. But yeah. All right. Well, until I see any more chats, I think I got all of them. If I didn't, let me know. Until then, we'll move on from the. I mean, we have DeMar DeRozan up here. We haven't really been talking about him. I would like to talk about some summer league with you guys. We haven't really talked about that yet. That's kind of one of the main things I want to talk about tonight. Kali, I know you want to talk about summer league. Um, our other options we obviously have the Kevin Durant stuff. Um, we also have talked about DeMar DeRozan a little bit. Andre Drummond, not really interesting. We have the two rookies who I want to talk about with the summer league stuff. We have Jalen Duren, kind of already mentioned him. Not much to say there. We have the Pistons lineup right now. Kind of talked about that already. PJ Washington, not much. Trey Murphy, we talked about quite a bit already, so we can go back to that. Anthony Simons, nothing to really say there. We talked about that earlier. He signed with the 76ers. And then Roy Hachimura signing with the Clippers. And then also we have John Collins, who we can just talk about because he's the last move the Pistons made. So we also did re-sign Javante Green. I forget when that was, but I really like that move. Javante was so good off the bench for us this year. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys want to talk about. I'll probably get into some summer league talk if you guys want to talk about that. Kali said movement and cutting will get you open shots. Cade will get that lob to you. Damn right, Kali. That's exactly the best way to put it. He's a very good off-ball mover too. I just like to see him again be more aggressive and fit better for Cade, especially if he's gonna be starting, right? 313 Elbow said, when is our first summer league game? I believe it is. It's Thursday. I know that for sure. Let me see what time it is. I think it's 8 p.m. Thursday. It's 5:30 p.m. We play the 76ers at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. So I'll probably tune into that. And then obviously I should be able to stream that night. So we'll definitely go through and talk about that. I can't believe it's already Tuesday. I mean, technically Monday night, but whatever. A lot of really big summer league news too. There's been some really big stand-up players like Darren Peterson. He's been balling. But yeah, if you guys want to talk about anything summer league related, let me know. But yeah, first game is, like I said, on Thursday. Yep, Kali said it Thursday, I think. Yep, 5:30 p.m. D-Town 101 said Ibuka better play better than Cam Carr. Cam Carr is my number one target. He was my number one target for this year's draft. So yeah, he better outperform Cam Carr. Otherwise, I'll be very upset. I had a dream last night, by the way. I don't know. This is really random. I had a dream last night that Buka Corey dropped it was like 46 points in a summer league game. So I don't know if you guys want to take that to heart, but I did have a dream. So I don't know if that's like means anything. But I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, I hope he plays better than Cam Carr. 313 Elbow said Cam Carr was balling. Yeah, again, that's why he was like my top target for the Pistons. I think he could have really fit well with us, but Abuka, I think we'll be all right. D-Town 101 said Cam Carr looks legit. Let me see his stats. What did he have tonight? Um, let's see. Oh, he only played 12 minutes tonight. What was his first game? Let me look. We got. What did he play? Did he play last night? No, he had like a really good game. He had 26 and 8. Holy shit. In 32 minutes, yeah. Decent shooting, 4 of 9 from 3. Yeah, the dude looks solid, man. That's why I would have loved to have had him. He was a very good player in college, so. Oh, yep. 313 Elbow said Yaxel balled out too. Yeah, what was it? 19 points off 100% shooting, 4 from 3. Like, what the fuck? Yaxel, that was why he was my number one target for the Pistons. Like, obviously, I knew we weren't gonna get him, but like, dude, he could have been something for us. The Warriors got a very good player. Now he is older, so I mean, you would expect him to be performing a little bit better. But yeah, Yaxel balled out. Darren Peterson's been he's been phenomenal. He had like, let me look at his stats tonight. I looked earlier and he had like 20 and 12 or something like that at one point. Let's see what he finished with. He had 25 points, 2 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals. That's a ridiculous summer league game for a guy who played 27 minutes. He had 25 and 12. That is crazy. What did Cam Boozer have? Cam Boozer had 18 and 7 and 4. That is not terrible either. 4 or 5 from 3. Boozer's actually impressed me. I wasn't very high on Boozer, but he's been good. But yeah. Kali said, I want to see Chaz Lanier show us something, or he may be the next one out the door. That's another. So when I look at the Summer League team, I'm looking at obviously those main 3. Abuka Okori, Ugana Onyenso, and then Chaz Lanier. Those are the big 3 that you're really looking at. Because Chaz Lanier is a bucket, but he doesn't really do much else. Like, he's not really a terrific defender. He doesn't really create for his own. He's more just like a spot up shooter. So I don't know. But yeah, I really like Chaz. I thought that was a good second round pick, but I hope that he can show us something. Otherwise, yeah, like you said, Kali, he might be gone. D-Town 101 said Yaxel is a man amongst boys. Yeah, he was. And I'm a Michigan State fan, and like obviously I respected the hell out of Michigan this year because they were phenomenal the whole season. But like Yaxel Lenenberg is genuinely like you said, a man amongst boys. Like he is for sure a good player. 313 Elbow said blame JB for not playing Chaz. Yeah, I wish we would have just gave him more minutes. Like, we won 60 games. Could have found some time. I get he's second round pick. You're gonna put him in the G League, right? Like, Uganda Onyenso's already signed a 2-way contract. It looks like, so he'll be in the G League for a lot of the year. But yeah, like, I wish we would have given him a little more of a chance. 313 Elbow said Uganda is going to be good, a sleeper if he gets playing time. I hope we give him playing time because he can be our beef stew replacement. Elite shot blocker, like literally one of the probably best, I would say probably the best shot blocker in all of college. I think he had like 9 blocks in the ACC championship game. Insane shot blocker, and he is starting to develop a bit of a shot too, kind of like how Isaiah Stewart, coming out of Washington, I believe is where he came from, was like starting to develop a 3-point shot. Like, that's kind of where Uganda is at as well. So I agree. I hope that we give that dude some minutes because he could be really good. 313 Elbow said he's a true 7-footer, and that's what we needed, right? That's why I love that pick too, because not only did we only get him for like cash, but like he's literally a true 7-footer who is a shot blocking machine. Like, and dude, when we go up against guys like Giannis, Wemby, what are some other good bigs? Even like the Knicks with like Joel Embiid, like sorry, not the Knicks, but the Sixers with Joel Embiid. Like, he is a guy that you're gonna throw in there, maybe not start, but like just have him come off the bench and be an elite shot blocker and defender. and good lob threat too, right? I really like that pick. I hope he gets some minutes. I think he'll be a good player for us. But yeah, so let me know what are so if we're looking at this roster right here, what are the top names you guys are looking at? Give me some like underrated ones too. Like obviously, I know I'll be looking at Ibuka, Corey, and Ugana and so those are the top two. Chaz Lanier is going to be there too. I'm going to be watching him. Give me some other names too, though. Like, what are the top like three names you guys are looking at for summer league this year? What do you guys think? What are your top names to watch out for? Who do you think's gonna have a better impact than most people would think? And like, what do you guys know about some of these players? Like, do you guys have any like underrated player you're looking at? I'll say this. Going through the roster, so Drake Allen, a name that I find very familiar for some reason. He went to Utah State. I can't 100% remember how I know him, but Dawson Garcia from Minnesota, a guy who I've seen in person a couple times, very good player. I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be probably our top performer outside of probably Ibuka. I expect Dawson Garcia to have a very good impact. Roddy Gale, obviously we know him from Michigan. He had a very good year at Michigan too. I'm excited for him. I hope that he can perform well and maybe he probably won't get a two-way this year, but maybe soon. I really like him. Jaden Henley from Grand Canyon, a very underrated player who I personally have also seen. He's very good. Isaac Jones from Washington State. I think he was on the G League team last year. Um, yeah, he was. Rashir, I have not heard of him before. I do not know. Chaz, obviously we know him. Latavius, I do not know. I'm not familiar. Buka, we know. Ugana, we know. Corey Stephenson, not really sure who that is. Orlando Thomas, not really sure. And Bryce Williams from Nebraska, I've also seen him play. Very good player there. What do you guys think? Let's see. 313 Elbow said, but JB is going to have to trust and play him. Yeah, JB is going to be the number one guy. Like, you better play him. Kali said he wants to see Dawson Garcia. Yeah, that's my probably outside of those big three names of Ibuka, Ugana, and Chaz. I'd say Dawson Garcia is kind of my top one. 6'10", yeah, and stretch big, power forward, pretty good shooter too. D-Town 101 said Rudy is a baller, low key. Yeah, or sorry, I think you're talking about Roddy. Roddy Gale is a baller. He was one of the like I don't know how I'd compare him. Like so, looking at Michigan's roster, like I don't know how I would. He was almost like a like not an Asar Thompson, but like kind of like that kind of player. Like when I was watching him for Michigan this year, it was like every time like someone would miss a shot, he would just be jumping up for a rebound and dunking it. Um, he was a good defender too. He's just like one of those hardworking players. Like he reminds me of like a Ron Holland who will just go out there and just fight for rebounds and he's a very good finisher at the rim too. I'm excited for him. I hope we give him some good opportunities. Troy said Roddy, I'm looking forward to because he's a Michigan man. Damn right. That's what I'm saying too. Roddy, I'm very excited for. When I seen that we picked him up for our summer league roster, I was super excited. I think that he will perform well for us as well. But yeah, he was great at Michigan. Like super good role player. Not like the greatest shooter by any means, but I think that for his sake, just an insane like good rebounder, good finisher at the rim, and a very good defender. I think he's going to be really good. He's one I'm very excited for. I think he could really fill in and prove himself too. He's a baller. Kevin Humphrey was good, man. He said, "Is there a backup for sleeper in this group?" Ooh, good question. If I'm gonna give you my opinion, I'm gonna go at Dawson Garcia. If you have never seen him play before, he was at Minnesota for most of his career, and I've seen him play in person. I think once or twice, and very very good player. He can score at all three levels. He's 6'10", and do I think he'll maybe make the team? Probably not. Um, but I could see him maybe getting a two-way. I really like him. I think he's very underrated. So I hope he performs well. I think he'll be one of our top performers. So yeah, I would give you probably Dawson Garcia. Isaac Jones is another name. He was on the G League team last year, I believe. He was really good there. Isaac Jones is definitely one, and then obviously like Ugana Onyenso would probably be the top option because I mean he's more of a five, but yes, I could see him maybe being a backup. So that's a good question, Kevin Humphrey. Thank you for that. Kali said summer league team should be damn good, pretty damn good. Yeah, I think so. I think when you look at this team, you've got shooting up and down. You've got bigs. You got Isaac down there. You got Ugana. You got Dawson Garcia, and then you got your like stud rookies who are I think Abuka Corey should be dominating hopefully for being a first round pick, but we'll see. Um, Trayton Flood, what is good, man? Thanks for chatting. He said, "What's the best move for a secondary scorer next to Cade?" So from what we talked about earlier, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Trey Murphy. I'm gonna go with Trey Murphy, Trayton. Um, or is your name just Trey? I'll just call you Trey because we're talking about Trey Murphy. Um, I would say Trey Murphy would be my top option. You can he is a good shot creator, but he's more of a shooter. But again, he's 6'8", can score at all three levels, and he does create for himself a little bit more than what like probably like John Collins will. John Collins more of a spot up shooter, but he can take it to the rim too. But like Tobias was a really good shot creator, but where Trey Murphy is probably just a little bit worse at shot creating, but I think would be a perfect fit shooting guard because when you look at our shooting guards right now, it's Isaiah Joe, Duncan Robinson, and neither of those guys are really shot creators. They're more of just spot up shooters. Trey Murphy can score. If you go watch him, he can score all three levels, and he is a pretty good shot creator and a good defender too. So I really like that. Um, so I would personally give up 3 first round picks, Karis LeVert, and maybe something else, and go and get Trey Murphy. Kevin Durant's another option. Sounds like there's a lot of rumors of him coming. And then Tyler Hero would be my other option if we could still somehow get him. But yeah, thanks for it. That's a great question, Trey. Thank you. Let me know what you think too, Trey. Who do you want to see? Oh, DeMar DeRozan, another one, because he just got waived today. So you could just pick him up, give him some money, and have him for a year or two. I think that could be a really good option because, again, a very good vet who I could see working out with us. I know he hasn't really been great, but he was on the Chicago Bulls and the Sacramento Kings. Like who plays good in those two teams? Or I mean, he played good, but like who succeeds on those two teams? You know what I mean? So yeah, I would love to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Demar. Wouldn't be my top option, but again, you wouldn't have to trade for him. And I think that if he's not performing well, again, you could just drop him or trade him. So I would like to see Demar. I think that'd be good. But yeah, let me know what you think. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. We got 23 people in here. Thank you guys all for joining me here tonight. We'll go for another 30 minutes or so. I don't want to go too late. I started a little late tonight, but I am thinking about streaming tomorrow. I might be doing something late at night again. So I can't say for certain if I will. For sure Wednesday, and then also for sure Thursday I will be streaming. Um, but yeah, I think tomorrow I really cannot tell you for certain. I would say just keep an if you guys are interested in joining again, then keep an eye out. But I definitely can't say for certain if I will. Kali said I would take a flyer on DeRozan. Yeah, I agree. If you're not gonna go make a trade, Trajan, then just sign DeRozan. Like that can be your starting two. And again, if he doesn't perform well, it doesn't really matter. You just drop him, trade him. Um, because I mean, what's it gonna hurt, right? Going and get another veteran who can score at all three levels and defend very well. I couldn't see why that would hurt. Other than I get, you have to pay him. Um, I would love to see him though. 313 Elbow said DeRozan's going to the Heat, Lakers, or Spurs. I could see him going back to the Spurs, but Lakers makes a lot of sense. Heat, if they don't get LeBron, then yeah. So we'll see. Troy said DeMar's a 20 points per game type of guy. If we could add DeMar and KD and Murphy, that would be the ideal situation. I doubt we get two of them, but yeah, if we were able to, I mean, no doubt we are a finals team, right? But yeah, I agree with you, Troy. I think that if you go get DeMar, you're looking at probably, excuse me, let me take a drink of water. Hold on. If you go get DeMar, I think that's the final piece that we're talking about. Because we've been talking a lot today about like what's the final piece next to Kate, who's going to be his Robin. And I think that DeMar could be that. He wouldn't be my top option. I'd rather have Trey Murphy. Kevin Durant, I'm not so high on, but I wouldn't mind it. But I would say out of any option we could do, like DeRozan would be up there. because you don't have to trade for him. So that would be nice. But yeah, I mean, Trey Murphy's my top option still, but DeMar would probably fit perfectly. And again, if he doesn't perform well, it's not the end of the world. Um, Drop him, trade him, or just have him come off the bench. But yeah, I think that would be a really good option. And I think that honestly, when you look at the last two teams, when he was back, on the Spurs and shit, and on the Raptors, like, or sorry, not the Spurs. Yeah, I meant the Raptors. When he was on the Raptors, dude was an all like NBA player, great defender too. So I hope that I would be fine with that. If we were to sign him, I'd be very happy. I think that's probably your final move to get a good stud next to Cade who can average 20 a game, like you said, Troy. I think that's a really good option. And honestly, if you're not going to go trade for anyone, then just do that. I'd be fine with that. I'd give that like a minus depending on the contract, and also like obviously again, if you're not going to make a trade or you can't, then that would give that like a minus probably. So I'd like that. That'd be sweet. Yeah, we'll see. See how it goes. 313 Elbow said Knicks Raptors are his last choice. Yeah, makes sense. He also said DeRozan not going to happen because we re-signed Herder. Yeah, always forget about Herder. And again, I didn't love that move. I just hope that after re-signing Herder, I hope we actually use him. I hope we actually play the guy. I know he was dealing with a little bit of injuries, but a guy who can get buckets and is pretty not terrible defender, but I hope that we actually play him this year. We'll see. 313 Elbow also said some dumbasses still not. Oh, you're saying because we re-signed him and still not play him? Yeah, like I said, if you're gonna re-sign him for that much money, I mean, 9 million a year isn't crazy, but like again, that's we gotta play him. He needs to get some minutes this year. Collie said Bradley Beal opted out of the with the Clippers, but I don't know how much he has left in the tank. Brad Beal's kind of like to me another DeMar DeRozan. Like he just kind of bounces around to a bunch of like mid teams, and honestly doesn't really impact him much. And like you said, like yeah, does he really have enough in the tank to help us? Very injury prone. Now, if you could just go get him, then sure, why not, right? That could be your guy. And if he stays healthy and he's next to Cade, sure. Um, but again, I don't know. I don't see Bradley Beal coming to Detroit, but honestly, if we're not gonna make any other move, then I would not be opposed to getting him as long as we get him um, for nothing crazy, right? Like I don't want to overpay him. I don't want him to take up the whole salary cap, whatever. But yeah, I don't hate that. As long if he stays healthy, he'd be really good. He'd be solid. He'd be nice. But yeah, I want to mention this. I completely didn't even think about this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Devin Booker? What do you guys think about him? Do you guys think that there's any chance we could get him? Because I mean, there's been rumors for literally years now that we go get Devin Booker. Do you guys think there's any chance we could still get him? I mean, you'd have to give up a lot for him, but again, Devin Booker next to Cade Cunningham, I mean, that is exactly the piece that you need, right? Elite scorer at all three levels, can create his own shot. What do you guys think about Devin Booker to Detroit? Do you think it's possible? We haven't even talked about, for whatever reason, like no one's ever really mentioned him. I just kind of forgot that he's out there, but I don't know if the Suns would ever give him up. I doubt they would. 313 Elbow said Beal already said he didn't want to play here last season. F Beal, we good on him. If he doesn't want to play here, then that's his option, I guess. But I wouldn't mind him. 313 Elbow said Devin Booker too expensive. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. You'd probably be giving up 4 first round picks in multiple players, so it's probably just not going to happen. I think the Suns are committed to keeping him. Collie said absolutely no chance we get Booker. Yeah, that's true. I was throwing it out there to see what you guys think. I agree. I don't think there's. I would love to have him, but are we gonna get him? No. I think that there's no talk on that for a reason, but that would be so sick to have him. I wish. He actually grew up like very close to my hometown. 313 Elbow said Peyton Watson's another sleeper. Yeah, I keep seeing that name thrown around too. Would not mind it. Would not mind it. Very good, very big sleeper for sure. If we were to go get him, I think that'd be a nice move. Not like an over the top move, but just a good move. Troy said he's like Draymond, will flirt with the idea forever and he'll never happen. Yeah, it's so true. So true. We always talk about Draymond or what Devin Booker, even Kevin Durant we've talked about, but it'll never happen. Mega Hustler said maybe DeJounte Murray. Ooh, I can see him fitting well next to Cade and Asar when he's healthy. Dude, DeJounte Murray was like an absolute dog back when he was on the Hawks with like Trey. Or was it, where was he before he went to the Hawks? I remember when he went to the Hawks, they didn't end up working out, but where was he before? Was it the, I don't know, but like I would not mind DeJounte Murray. Honestly, I agree, Mega Hustler. What everyone else in the chat, what do you guys think about DeJounte Murray? Also, let me know. Would we have to trade for him, or is he a guy? I think you'd probably have to trade for him, but um, I could definitely see him fitting next to Cade well, and that could be your starting two right there. A guy who can create for himself as well. Um, I would not mind that at all. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think that'd be a good move. Y2 Chris said could have had Booker, not for Scott, or sorry, if not for SVG taking Stanley Johnson. Yeah, we were so close to drafting him. I don't know why the fuck we didn't. Um, but yeah, hey, we got Stanley Johnson though, right? Um, Through and three elbow said I agree. DeJounte Murray would be good too. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Troy did say no, we can't win with him. Um, I don't know. It just depends really. Like if Dejounte Murray can come in and provide for what he was doing a couple years ago, I think it'd be nice. But we saw like him and Trey Young not really work out too well. But again, I think a lot of that was just due to injuries. So I think Dejounte's a nice player though. Good scorer, pretty good defender. Like I could see him being a good fit and honestly working out very well with us. Y2 Chris also said and taking Luke Kennard over Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, D Mitch is I mean, he ended our season this year, so Kali said laugh out loud. Yep. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't mind Dejounte Murray. I'd have to let me see was he hurt this year? He was he on the Pelicans this year? Let me look. Yeah, he was on the Pelicans. Wait, was he? Yeah. He averaged 17, 5, and wow, 17, 5, and 6, not bad. 3-point shooting was pretty low. Um, but in his career, he's pretty decent 3-point shooter. I wouldn't hate it. I don't know. I just don't know if I don't know. I don't know if he would cost anything to get, but definitely a good. Who'd be a good wingman next to Cade because he can score at all three levels. I wouldn't mind it honestly. It's a good name to bring up. What else we got in here? Kali said Trey Murphy's the perfect fit. Yep. Trey Murphy is my number one target. He has been for a few days now. So, 313 Elbow said Trey Young and Cade are two different players. He would fit. Yeah, that's fair. I think also the whole Trey Young thing. First of all, Trey and Cade are definitely similar, but different. Like Cade and Trey are both good scorers. Um, they're both really good passers. Cade's probably a little better defender, better rebounder, but definitely agree that he would. I think he'd fit fine. I think he'd be good here, and I wouldn't mind the move at all because again, definitely a second scoring option who can score from all three levels. That's what we're looking for. So yeah, I would be okay with that. I'd give it like a B plus if we were to go get him. But you also 313 Elbow also said he's kind of expensive. Yeah, that's the other thing. Kali said that maybe Trajan is still exploring Tyler Hero. Again, that's my other top option. You know, if we're gonna go get trade for a starting shooting guard, a perfect wingman next to Cade, I think Tyler Hero would be a perfect option and a guy who's also very good passer as well. Drizzy said we drafted Killian Hayes over Tyrese Halliburton. That one will never be forgotten, right? That's probably honestly almost that's probably could be worse. I mean, again, like Tyrese and Cade, I don't know how well that worked next to each other, but I mean, probably be fine. You have Halliburton at the one, Cade at the two. Why not? But either way, taking Killian Hayes over that fucking guy, Jesus. We'll see. Y2 Chris said Trajan's major moves might occur tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the day we re-sign Duren. I'm gonna go with tomorrow or Wednesday we re-sign Duren, And then after that, I think is when we'll make the big trade if we do make one, or the big signing, whatever. I definitely agree. Kali also said he agrees. I think tomorrow's the day we re-sign Duren. What do you guys think? Because I think before we make a big move, we're gonna have to re-sign Duren, get him locked up. Hopefully that happens. But yeah, I think for sure that tomorrow could be the day that we could make a big move. Either tomorrow, either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. It is 12:41. I'm gonna go for probably another like 20ish minutes if that's all right with you guys. Like I said, I am not sure if I will be streaming tomorrow. Hopefully I am. Just depends. I'll probably, if you guys do want to know, I will be posting updates and stuff on my like the YouTube posts that you can make, like the community posts. So if you guys want to ever get updates on if I'm streaming or not, just check those. But yeah, I do plan on for sure. I think Wednesday I'll be available, and then Thursday after the summer league game, I'll also probably do a big live stream talking about that. So if you guys want to join in for those, and then obviously, like I said, for tomorrow, it's up in the air. More than likely, I probably won't be tomorrow, so don't plan on it. But definitely keep an eye out if you guys do want to join up. But for sure, Wednesday, Thursday. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good 4th of July, man. It feels like it's been a while since I've done this. It's been like only 4 or 5 days, but glad to be back. Glad to see you guys in here. Glad to be talking about some stuff. We really didn't. It's crazy. We really didn't have much. What's it called? We really didn't have much news, like sports news. Like there really was nothing this weekend. Like 4th of July was pretty dead for sports news, right? Troy said he's over it already. 313 Elbow said if it wasn't for Giannis, Tatum, Halliburton, and Embiid, being hurt, Durant will not have made the All-Star team or All-NBA team. He would have been re-signed. Facts. Yeah, him making the All-NBA and the All-Star team really hurt us for contracts. I agree. But yeah, with Giannis out, Tatum out, Halliburton and Embiid out, yeah, he got a spot freed up for sure. Definitely agree with that. And yeah, definitely like I don't know. Like it's cool. I obviously love that for Darren to be a part of the All-Star game and and be an All NBA player, but like again, that hurt us a lot. 303 Elbow said next year Darren will not be mentioned in any of those categories. I don't disagree with that. I think that Darren will he'll have a similar season. He'll probably average like 18 and 11, somewhere around that. But for sure agree that he probably will not be even thought about for an All NBA honor. It's a good point. Kali said, yeah, Darren is starting to become a diva. I don't think Kate's too happy about it. That's what I've been saying, man. I do not appreciate Darren with all this contract shit. Like, if he would have been like, if he would have just said something along the lines of like, obviously like just being winning, like win first, right? Like, do you care more about your money going to play for a shitty team, or do you care about winning and still getting a really good contract? And he just made it evident that like A, he either doesn't want to be here, or B, he just cares more about the money. So I don't know. That really kind of hurt me because I love Darren, one of my favorite players on the team. Him doing that really, really sucks. Yeah, I didn't love that either, Kali. That really pissed me off. But yeah, let me know. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Again, I'll go through kind of what we have in here. We have the Summer League. We talked about that. We talked about the Kevin Durant trade a little bit, DeMar DeRozan stuff. We briefly touched a couple of these other topics. So if you guys want to talk about any of this, or just anything that's not included in this as well, like it really just comes down to whatever you guys want to talk about. But yeah, there wasn't, like I said, there really wasn't much news this weekend at all. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Let's go back to we'll just go to the Summer League roster again. Tanaj said, I think what you're forgetting and what the chat is forgetting and that the Pistons fans are forgetting is that Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart were very, very close. I think he wants out. Ooh, you might be right about that. I think, here's what I think, Tanaj. I will agree with you. I will say I think that he is seeing what Trajan Langdon is doing, and what he did to Isaiah Stewart, Tobias Harris, and I think that he's pissed off about it, and I think he's kind of um, revolting against that a little bit because he was very unhappy with Stewart getting moved, and that was his guy, right? Like Stewart was the guy. Anytime they'd get in like a scuffle, Stewart was the guy in there throwing hands and defending Duran and all that, and like those two were obviously close. And same thing with Tobias. Troy said that Troy said Tanaj Stu had a massive presence in the locker room. That was his main contribution to the team as a locker room guy. Yeah, locker room guy, enforcer on the court, and an amazing rim protector. So I didn't love that move either, guys. 313 Elbow said we are all pissed about the way Darren is acting. Yep. He is acting like a little bitch. But you know what? I get it. Go look for some money, but like, dude, you don't gotta do it the way you're going about it. Troy said Jalen Duren does not want out. He just wants to get paid. He made All NBA this year. It's fair, but when you don't show up in the playoffs and you play like shit the way you did and you get outperformed by the third string center, you might not deserve $40 million. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's exploring his options and seeing what he's worth. Kali said, Tanaj, yeah, we talked about that. I think he's upset about Stu getting traded and Unk leaving, but he played like ass in the playoffs. Yeah, he did. He was just in his own head in the playoffs. Kevin Humphrey said, what are your thoughts on Benedict Mathurin? Is he available? That is who I wanted the Pistons to draft versus Jaden Ivey. We did talk about him a little bit earlier, so this is my thoughts. First of all, like you said with the whole Jaden Ivey thing, I was a huge Ivey guy. Like I really wanted Ivey on this team, but Ben Mathurin was the next option. Like he was like, honestly, I was like, I can't really tell who would fit better. I think they'd both be good. And obviously, looking hindsight, Mathurin would have been a really nice pick. But what are my thoughts on it? On getting Ben Mathurin? Would love it. I think he could start. He can score at all three levels. Pretty good shooter and solid defender as well. And he's also an athletic freak. So we've talked about him a little bit. Like I said, I would personally not be opposed. So you said, is he available? I don't think is Benedict. Kali will probably chime in and let us know because he is up to date on this. He's a restricted free agent for the Los Angeles Clippers. After receiving a qualifying offer, the Clippers retain the right to match any contract he signs with another team. So we can offer for him. Doesn't mean we'll get him. Will the Clippers keep him? I don't really know. They didn't really use him that much this year, but I like the thought process there. I think Ben Mathurin could be a really good fit here. He would probably be one of my top 5 options that we could go attack. Definitely agree. I like that. I like that idea, Kevin. Thank you. So we'll see. We'll see what they're thinking because yeah, if we offer him, like, you don't want to overpay him, right? But yeah, go out and like see if you can get him. I'd love that. Tanaj said, Kali, I agree with you on his play in the playoffs, but I believe it's not just about money. It may not be about money at all. Trajan traded his brother, and I think about that. How would you feel? Yeah. Imagine, your best friend. Again, though, here's the thing, Tanaj. This is a business, right? Like you can have friends or whatnot, but like at the end of the day, this is a business. Like you're not guaranteed to be on any team, right? They could trade you at any given moment. We've seen that over the last couple of years. But yeah, Ibrahim said restricted free agency money is drying up. Yeah, especially as we get deeper into free agency. You're right. Kali said Mathurin is a restricted free agent, so if we offer him something, Clippers will just match. Do you think that the Clippers will match, though, Kali? Do you think that they are interested in keeping him, or do you think that they would let him walk? Because if we were to offer Mathurin, like, hold on, let me grab a blanket. I'm a little cold. If we were to offer Mathurin like a decent contract, I don't know. Kali said, I'm not sure how much money Detroit has left to spend. We still have to pay Darren, which will not leave much to spend. Yeah, that's true, and that's why you either got to go make a trade, or you have to, I don't know, or you have to go out and just I don't know how much we have left in cap, but hopefully you'd have enough to go get somebody. J.N.Re 6658 was good, man. He said Knicks in 5. Oh gosh. You know what? Respect. Y'all won it all this year. I'm glad that you guys got your ring. I can't say anything, right? Like, here, I'll say this, Jay. As a Pistons fan, I really think we could have gave you guys a run for your money. Now, here's the thing: Knicks were hot. Knicks were hot in the playoffs. Like we would have been running into them when they were on like a what 7 game win streak in the conference finals, and then they ended up winning. How many did they win in a row? Like 12 in a row. The Knicks were hot. I don't know if we would have been able to beat you guys in a 7 game series, but I think compared to the Cavs, I think we could have gave you a run for your money. Um, but you know what? Yeah, respect. You guys got your ring. It was a down year in the East. You guys made it out, and then you guys beat the Spurs, which I didn't think they would be able to do. So congrats. Um, but yeah, definitely. We'll see how the Knicks do next year, though. I don't know. It'll probably be pretty similar to this year. And they got Andre Drummond. That's who I wanted the Pistons to pick up. But through and three elbows said this is all about money. That's why Tobias left. He wanted more money and didn't want to come off the bench. Yeah, I don't think Tobias wanted to come off the bench. But either way, I mean, he might be coming off the bench in San Antonio. I actually, yeah, he'll probably start at the 4. We'll see. But yeah, and then through and three elbow also said, uh, and also wanted a longer contract. Yeah, definitely wanted to be more than a year. Jay said, much respect to Detroit, bad boy Pistons in the 2000s, Ben Wallace, Chris, some of my favorites. Yeah, man, we're trying to reinstall that, right? Obviously, trading Beef Stew didn't help that, but yeah, no, much respect to you guys as well. I mean, again, like, obviously, I was rooting on your guys' downfall because, you guys kicked us out of the playoffs last year, which we were a young team last year that really had no playoff experience, and we still did pretty well. I was happy with that series. But yeah, this past year, man, I can't believe the NBA didn't want a Pistons Knicks conference final. Like I really thought like they should have just rigged the game 7 against the Cavs for us so we could have played you guys. That would have been such a good conference final. But yeah, the Knicks were just so hot. Like I honestly don't know if we could have hung with you guys. Like you guys were just playing so good. So you know what, you guys got your ring though. Hopefully we can get the next one this coming year. We'll see. Through and three elbow said, laugh out loud. Oh shit, here we go with the Knicks shit. Yeah, you know what? Again, I can't even say anything because not only did they beat us the year before, but they also won the fucking finals this year. So whenever it's that kind of situation, I really can't say anything. It really just comes down to just I gotta respect the team that bounced us, and I know we destroyed them all year, but they won the finals, so they got the ring. Tanaj said, I hear you. This is a business, but there was absolutely no reason to trade Isaiah Stewart. He was the heart and soul of our defense and our enforcer. Yep. And he had a good contract. Yep. No reason at all. I hated that move. The day it happened, I was at a bar in Grand Rapids with some buddies, and I remember reading that news, and I genuinely just sat there and was like, am I reading this right? Did we actually just trade Isaiah Stewart for 3 second-round picks? Yeah. I agree, Tanaj. You've made a lot of good points tonight. That was a terrible trade. Like, I'll never understand it. I get it. You know what? Here's the thing. Paul Reed did outperform him in the playoffs, but Paul Reed is also not as good of a rim protector and enforcer and locker room guy as what Beef Stew was. Beef Stew was one of the heart and souls of this team. Ibrahim said Isaiah Stewart was threatening the coaching staff in Game 7. He had to go after that. Maybe that's what it was about. I don't know. Either way, I mean, I love Isaiah Stewart. And I'm sure tempers are flaring, and we played like shit in Game 7. So I don't know though. I did not love that move. Kali said, Tanaj, yeah, you sound like me here all last week. I'm pissed. Yeah, guys, fuck. It sucks. It really does. Jay said, what do you think about all the LeBron fiasco? Are you a fan? Yeah, it's interesting, Jay. I don't know what is going to happen with LeBron because at first I really thought he was going to the Warriors. And he announced that he's just going to take his time, enjoy his off season. So my thoughts on the LeBron stuff is that he's down to really 3 teams. I think it's going to be the Warriors, the Heat, or the Cavs. He's going to either reunite with the Cavs or the Heat, which right now it's sounding like I think the Heat are like the front runner. But I could definitely see um the I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I could definitely see the Warriors going because if LeBron and Curry, like if LeBron's final year was with Curry, that would be so sick. What do you think about it though? Jay, do you think that LeBron is heading to out west to play with the Warriors? Because I mean, LA to San Francisco, it's not too far. Or do you think he's going to go back and reunite with the Heat or the Cavs? I could see him going to the Heat though to play with Giannis. Will he be able to afford it? That was the question. Troy said, only thing that would make sense if we're clearing space for a big move. We haven't made one so far. That's why I'm confused. Troy, great point. If we're going to move on from Beef Stew and go make a big move, that's fine as long as it's a great player. We have yet to do that. John Collins was not a big move. That's a good player to fill in for Tobias Harris, but not a great move or a big move. Ibrahim said, y'all remember the 3 straight fouls on Jarrett Allen and getting subbed out. He was wild. And that's the thing with Beef Stew is as much as we loved him, he did have a bit of a temper and he could get us into a bit of trouble. Um, I don't know. I love Isaiah Stewart either way, though. He was, again, an insane rim protector. He was developing a 3-point shot and was getting pretty good with that. And overall, just a very good rebounder as well. And he's a solid scorer too. Drizzy said the Knicks signed Mike Beasley as well. Really? I'll have to look at that. That's crazy. Kali said just say no to LeBron and Bronny. Yep, that's all you gotta say. I mean, obviously, would I love to have LeBron finish his career in Detroit? Sure, but I just it's not gonna happen. B, I don't know how well that would go over. But yeah. Oh, we got 26 people in here, guys. Thank you for listening and watching here tonight. If you guys are in here right now, make sure to hit that like button. And if you do feel up to it, please do hit the subscribe button. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers. Let's see where we're at right now. I haven't checked yet. We've gotten 5 so far tonight. We're at 954, so we're under 50 subscribers away. So if you haven't and you feel up to it, please do hit that subscribe button. And turn those post noties too, because I'll usually be going live around 10 p.m. if you guys want to join up. We get a lot of good chats in here, so yeah. Jay said, I think the Warriors would be out because Curry is the man at the Bay. If he's going for a ring, he's basically has to hop on a very high level team. I heard the Spurs were in the running to get him as well. I just don't see it happening. But yeah, I think yeah, I think that he's probably going to Miami. That's my guess. Oh, Ibrahim said, GG's, bro. GG's, Ibrahim. Are you headed out? I'll probably be heading out here in the next 5-10 minutes as well. I can't believe it's already one. These streams go by so fast, man. Holy crap. Kali said, Drizzy, are you trolling? Oh, was he talking about Malik? Yeah, if Malik Beasley, I mean, he's never playing the NBA again. For some reason, I thought he was talking about who's the other. Who am I thinking of? Not Malik Beasley. Might have been thinking of like Malik Monk or something. I don't know. I thought he meant something like that. It sounds like Malik Beasley is done in the NBA. He'll never play again. Yeah, you said Mike. That's what I thought. And Mike Beasley's pretty old, isn't he? Yeah, I'll be honest, Drizzy. I thought you meant Malik at first too, and I was like, really? But then you said Mike. Okay, I got you. Yeah, the Knicks are gonna have a damn good team this year. Let's be honest. I like the Andre Drummond signing too. Like, love it. My two Chris said Bickerstaff does not play Ron enough. Yeah, no doubt. A top 5 pick who is an energizer off the bench, a guy who can score decently well. He's working on a shot. He's gotten better at shooting, and just an amazing defender. Yeah. He needs to play more, and this year he better take a step up, and I hope we don't trade him. 3-3 Elbows said, listen, the Stu trade, Pistons received a sharpshooter, point guard, true 7-footer, and draft picks. That was a great trade. I don't know if I'd take. I mean, if you look at all three, I mean, yeah, I mean, you got a really good rim protector, 7-footer, you got a really good sharpshooter, Isaiah Joe, and then you got a really good backup point guard. Yeah, I definitely agree there, but I would honestly rather keep Stu over going and getting some second round rookie, because Stu is proven. But also, yeah, if you want to move on from that contract and upgrade, that's fine. Or if you're gonna go make a big move, again, if we go make a big move after getting rid of Stu, that's fine. But we have yet to do it. So if he can replace, if you want to replace Stu with Paul Reed, that's fine as long as you go and you get a big player. I would love it. So we'll see. 3-3 Elbow said we all love Stu, but we received 3 players for him. I mean, yeah, Kali just said, yeah, Stu was traded for 3 second round picks. Those other moves were separate. Yeah, they weren't technically included, but if you look at it the way that 3-3 is looking at it, then I guess it makes sense, right? But yeah, I mean, they were separate. We traded them for 3 second round picks, which we used essentially to trade up and get a Buka Corey. That's the way I look at it. So, but yeah. Um, honestly, guys, probably give another 5 minutes here. Throw anything else you guys got in the chat. I'll probably get wrapped up here. Like I said, okay, we're back. Sorry, someone just came in my room. um, where were we? Well, I was saying, basically, don't know for sure if I'm streaming tomorrow. Keep an eye out if you guys are interested in joining up. But as of right now, we'll see. Um, where were we at? Let's see here. We got 3-3 said OG is going to come back better for the Knicks. He was low key the MVP of the playoffs. Yeah, dude, he had that game winner too. OG was amazing in the playoffs for the Knicks. Um, and I think he'll perform better this year too. Troy said they said we were interested in Durant. Durant's interesting team up with Cade. Yeah, we did talk about where is he? We did talk about that earlier. Um, that would be crazy. I think that would definitely get the headlines and a lot of attention for the Pistons. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't say I'd want it to happen. I'd probably rather have Trey Murphy, but KD would be pretty sick, dude. I would love to see it. And yeah, I think that he would work really good with Cade. That would be really fun to see. Tanaj said you're doing a good job. Keep the good work. Appreciate you, Tanaj. That means a lot to me, man. I'm glad to have you in here. And thank you for all the chats tonight. You've had a lot of um, good chats. Kali said, what kind of trade package would it take to get Durant? To be honest, not really 100% sure. It would probably be something along the lines of a couple first round picks, probably like 3 of them. Um, and yeah, probably like maybe give up Karis LeVert, and they might want Ron Holland, which I don't know if I'd be willing to give up Ron for KD, but especially if you're gonna give up multiple picks too. But I wouldn't mind giving up 3 first round picks and Karis LeVert and maybe a couple first round swaps or something. But yeah. 3-3 said no, they received the same draft picks right back and they used that for Isaiah Joe. They did use so they used 3 second round picks to trade up to get a Buka, and they also used 2 separate ones to I believe 2 separate ones to get Isaiah Joe. Y2 Chris said we will wait and watch tomorrow's moves. Yep. I think tomorrow could be a big day because today there really wasn't much action. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow's the day we re-sign Duren, and then after that, I think is when we make another big move. So hoping for another big move, guys. We need to see one more big move for the Pistons if they're going to win it all this year. We need one more like starting player, starting two maybe. What we got? 3-3 said 2 for 1. I get what you're saying. If you look at it the way you're looking at it, yeah, I agree. Troy said, Troy said, Cade, Isaiah Joe, Asar Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Duren with a deep bench that could win it. Yeah, you add KD into that lineup and have John Collins off the bench. So it's an elite team of shooters and good defenders in there too. Rob Duncan Karras and a first for KD. Duncan Karras. Um, I wouldn't love giving up Ron or Duncan. I'd give up maybe one of the two, but giving up both, ugh, I'd rather give up an extra first, to be honest. Because you said in a first and second for KD. Troy said Ron didn't even play in the playoffs. Ship him off somewhere he can actually flourish. That's a good point. If we're not going to use Ron Holland, just trade him. The dude didn't get a single minute in the playoffs, which really pissed me off. Um, I don't think we'll trade Ron. I don't think Trajan wants to. That was his first draft pick here in Detroit. But if we're not going to play Ron and give him fair minutes, then just trade him. I really wish we'd use him right, though. I will say that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting rid of Karras and a couple first round picks for KD. I think that would be solid. Solid move. Tenaj said, Troy, it won't happen. Trajan is sitting on his ass watching the rest of the East get much better. Yeah, Tenaj is pretty locked in with the Trajan Langdon criticism because, and we all know, if Trajan Langdon does not go out and make one more big move at the shooting guard spot, the power forward spot, whatever, we are not going to be looking good next year. We need one more shooting guard. Like, or, sorry, not like and not like a mediocre shooting guard. We need a starter next to Cade, like a wingman. And if not, then go get like another big power forward that can start next to Duran. But yeah, I think Troy, KD, or sorry, Trey, KD, or Tyler Hero would be very good options to get next to Cade. I think that'd be awesome. So we'll see. Kali, with the crying face. Troy said, Tanaj, I'm with you. Trajan sucks. 313 said, did y'all know Trey, Cade, and Collins have the same sports agent? Really? That's a crazy fun fact. That's very interesting. Troy said we're lucky if we get the 4 seed next year. I'm expecting right now anywhere from 3 to 5 seed. That's my expectation. I think we'll get like a little over 50 wins. I'm hope. I think I'm hoping. I'm thinking we'll probably get a 3 seed. But if we don't make any more really good moves, I don't know. But yeah, Kali said we'd be very lucky as well. Troy said that 60 was a fluke. We almost lost to an 8 seed. Yeah, like I said, we were kind of a pretender this year. We weren't no contender. But I will say this, Troy. The Magic were not your ordinary 8 seed. Like, you look at the 8 seed in the West, who was it? Like the Suns. Like, they wouldn't have given us any trouble, I don't think. But also, I don't think the Pistons were built enough to win it all this year. Like, you look at teams like the Spurs, the Thunder, who are sweeping teams, and even the Knicks sweeping teams. The Cavs, I know they went to 7 against the Raptors, but yeah, the 60 wins. I don't know if I'd say it was like a fluke. I think we did have a really good team and played well with each other. I just think that the East was so weak this year that honestly, why wouldn't we get 60 wins? So, 3 and 3 elbows said the only thing blocking the deal is Dumar's punk ass. Yeah, you might be right, bro. Hoping we get that shit dealt with and get Duran dealt with, get that situation figured out, and then go and get fucking KD, DeRozan, Trey Murphy, Tyler Hero, someone. There's still some names out there. But yeah, we'll give it another 5 minutes here, guys. Go to 115. This has been a fun stream. Appreciate you guys for being in here. And like I said, no guarantee for a stream tomorrow, but keep an eye out. And then for sure Wednesday and Thursday I do plan on streaming. So that's like my schedule for this week. Wednesday, Thursday for sure, possibly tomorrow. We'll see. So any last chats you guys have for me, throw down in that chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking, and then I'll head out of here in about 5 minutes. Kali said the Sixers, Knicks, Cavs, Celtics, Raptors, Pacers all could be better than Detroit. Yep, Sixers I think for sure, Knicks for sure. Cavs probably pretty even. Celtics maybe. Kali, I think that it depends on if they go make another move because they still have Tatum. Obviously still have Peyton Pritchard and like Derek White, but I think they need one more good player in order to be. I mean, they'll probably be like a 5 to an 8 seed this year, maybe. Who knows? They could fall off. Raptors are gonna be better with Kawhi. Pacers are gonna be healthy. Yeah, those are all teams that could easily be better than Detroit. And I would even go as far as saying, like, teams like the Magic could be up there if they stay healthy this year. because they didn't really do anything this offseason, but like again, they were a decent team last year that gave us a run for our money. But yeah, I mean that's a good list. Troy said Danis Jenkins cannot be our second ball handler in the playoff time. He's not a star player, maybe a decent backup. Yeah, he's a good backup, but like you said, I don't know if he had a couple really good games in the playoffs. But is so here's the thing, Troy. You could have Abuka Corey, which I don't. I think you're not very high on him, are you? Um, I don't. I forget if you're the one that said you. I think you said that you hated that pick, but um, yeah, Danis and Abuka could be decent backups, but we'll see. Tanaj said, "Listen, I have to disagree with you on the Pistons not having a chance. I disagree wholeheartedly. Our defense and toughness would have beat New York. JB shorter rotation way too much in the playoffs. Tanaj, I was saying earlier, I think we would have gave the Knicks a run for the money. I think we could have beat them. I think the Knicks were scared of us. Even their fans were scared of us. Um, I just think that really like it all came down to our shooting. We just didn't have enough shooters to hang with teams like the Cavs, right? And even with the Knicks were so hot though too. They were on a hot streak. So I don't know, Tanaj. I think that we would have had a pretty good. I think we would have been able to beat New York. We definitely would have had a shot, but I don't think we would have beat the Spurs. Troy said that Heat will be good this year. 3 on 3 Elbow said Detroit is going to be an 8 or 9 seed unless the Heat get hit with an injury bug. I don't know if 8 or 9 seed would be pretty fucking sad. I think 5 seed would be reasonable as well. But that dude, 8 or 9 seed, I would be so disappointed. Me in the East. Tanaj said it continued, which continuing from what he said earlier. Um, so JB played shorter rotations, which burned out Cade, so he could not carry us over the top versus the Cavs. The Pistons should have actually made it to the finals. Bad rotation and no trade deadline move. Doomed us. Yep, the no trade deadline for sure. Um, then also yeah, I think we could have hung when the Knicks took them down, but I don't think we would have beat the Spurs. The Spurs would have probably beaten us. That's like our kryptonite team right there. But yeah, I think like you said, the short rotations were terrible. Like not playing Javante, Paul Reed was barely getting minutes until we realized that Duran sucked. So we'll see. Troy said I hate a Corey for our current situation. Might 5, 10 years be good, but I want to win this year. That's a good take, Troy. That's kind of where I'm at too. I didn't love that pick for this year's roster. I would have loved Cam Carr, someone who could have actually um, really helped impact us. I just hope a Corey gets used because you look at Marcus Sasser's situation, dude never played and he was picked like 26. I hope a Corey actually gets used right. El Capitan, good to see you back, man. He said, so if we trade for Durant, what do you think it will take to get him? So we talked about this earlier. We think it's probably going to take you either Ron Holland, Karis LeVert with a couple first round picks, like 2 to 3. I would say probably 3 first round picks, Karis, and then you either got to throw in one other player or you got to throw in another first round pick, and then maybe a couple first round pick swaps, maybe a couple second round picks. I don't know. My ideal package would be 3 first rounders, Karis LeVert, 2 first round swaps, and then like a second round pick or two. But yeah, good to see you back, El Capitan. 3 on 3 Elbow said turnovers is the real reason why the Pistons lost in the playoffs. Yeah, it was turnovers. Shooting got a little bit better, but it wasn't good enough. And then honestly, I just think getting outmatched with the bigs. Like we didn't have enough bigs. Kali said we wouldn't have beat the Knicks playing the way we did in the playoffs. Honestly, yeah, we were playing kind of shitty in the playoffs, and they were playing insanely well. So who knows, Kali? I agree. I don't know if we would have beat the Knicks. I think we would have been able to give them a run for their money, though. Done better than what the Cavs did. Troy said to Naj, exactly. The trade deadline screwed us. Trajan said he wanted to be patient. We were a 1 seed. We knew our problem was shooting. I get it. We were the 1 seed. We felt confident with our team, but like we knew shooting was a problem going in. And Troy also said a Corey and Ugana will join all of Trajan's other picks on the bench or in the G League. Yeah. Yeah, Ugana will be he already signed a 2-way contract, so hopefully we use Ugana a little bit this year because I think he could be a really good shot blocker. But a Corey, I hope we can use him right, develop him. We'll see. Collie said, "Have a good night, guys." Yep, it's about that time. If you're in here and you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, and if you feel like it, subscribe. I'm probably gonna head out of here. If you guys have any last chats, I will respond. But overall, I think I'm gonna head on out of here. We have hopefully a lot more to talk about tomorrow because honestly, after that like 4 or 5 day break, we really didn't get too much news. Um, like I said, not for sure if I'll be on tomorrow. Um, if you guys are interested, look. If you click on my account and go to the post section, I'll be giving out updates on there, and also make sure to turn post notifications on. That's also one of the best things you can do if you're interested in joining. Um, so for tomorrow, I would say there's like a, it's up in the air, but for sure Wednesday I should be active, and then Thursday as well after the first summer league game I should be active as well. So thank you guys for watching though, man. Troy said, GG, you guys. Katie and Trey Murphy to the Pistons tomorrow. And we'll sign DeRozan. Fuck yeah, Troy. If at least one of those things happen, along with the Duran re-signing, maybe, or if just we can just get one of those guys, tomorrow's gonna be a good night, guys. Um, Troy said, "Thanks for the live, bro." Absolutely, Troy. Hope to see you back either tomorrow or Wednesday. Um, Absolutely. 313 said good night. Detroit Nation, peace. Thank you, 313. Appreciate you for all your chats tonight, man. You had a lot of good points. I appreciate you. El Captain said, hope by tomorrow we have a new Piston. Absolutely. Um, I hope it's one of those names we mentioned. We'll see, guys. I'm excited. I think tomorrow could be a big day. Obviously, hoping for it. Kali said, now I lay me down to sleep. Yes, sir. Dream about that trade. Dream about that Trey Murphy trade, Kevin Durant trade, Tyler Hero trade. But yeah. So like I said, tomorrow, I don't know for sure, but I will, like I said, be I will update you guys probably midday and let you guys know if I will be streaming. So keep an eye out if you guys are interested in joining. Definitely a chance, but right now I'm not really planning on it. Wednesday, planning on it. So 10 p.m. I usually start at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Wednesday, and then Thursday I'm also planning on it as well after the summer league game, probably at 10 p.m. as well. So um, if you guys are interested, that's kind of what I'm thinking for this week. Possibly tomorrow, for sure, Wednesday and Thursday. Um, Kali said pray on it. Tanaj said during a trade deadline, I said the Pistons should go get Bobby Portis from Milwaukee. Wouldn't have cost us anything substantial, and he would have helped immediately. Our window might be closed now. That would have been a easy, nice little pickup that I think probably would have benefited us. Good shooter as well, and there's a lot of options we could have done. We just sat still at the trade deadline, while teams like the Cavs went out and got James Harden. So, but yeah. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching though. I am gonna head out of here. Thank you guys so much for a great stream. We will be back hopefully tomorrow. If not though, for sure Wednesday and Thursday. So keep an eye out. If you're not already, follow my Twitter. Just look up like Motor City Sports on Twitter. You should see me. I just started posting on there, but watch out for, if you guys are interested, watch out for any of my posts here on YouTube. I will try to update you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for a great stream though. That was a fun one. Went by fast. We got a lot of good topics, and hopefully tomorrow we will get some even better topics. Hopefully we get a new Detroit Piston tomorrow, and we can talk about that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for listening. Y'all have a great night, man. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, if not Wednesday and Thursday for sure. And hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for a great stream, and talk to you guys very soon. Peace.